with his bird's eye view and a brain to match is Mr. Know-It-All.
Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, depending on where and when you're watching this broadcast. I'm Thomas Festa, my friends, and this is Disclosure Tonight. Happy Monday, July 27th. We're almost through the 7th month of the year. Yeah, Disclosure's moving, not as much as we wanted it to, but you know, it sounds like there's some rumbling behind the scenes, and those people who are, slowing things down, sounds like they're about to be identified, which is where it needs to go. On that note, let's go ahead and welcome in our audience, because it is a live show, folks. We got to welcome in the show. We got to welcome in the chat. They're a part of the show. You see, their stuff pops up all the time. All right, let's go ahead and take a look and see who we have up there. Well, at the top of the poll, we've got the Greasy Weasel. He's done it again. April's out there along with Avi. We've got Bogus UAP and D. Henderson. Digger Dog's in the chat along with Dusty Gee. We got E-Dub and Eliza Teal. Elvis Roten's out there along with Firefly. Good to see a Firefly. Along with Found This Fascinating and Francis Tremblay. Geraldine Durazio's in the chat along with Grateful Benny. We've got Hurrah for John, Jay Boone, Jay Cat Meow, Joey Stoner, of course, Kelly Broad with those piercing blue eyes. Thanks for coming out, Kelly. Absolutely. All right, so we've got Lori G in the audience as well in the chat along with Mag Magnum. I see Marcus and the Mandels. Megan Betts is along with Melee Watch. Yeah, that's right. There we go. Michael, good to see you, my friend. Michael Drews. 75. You just had your birthday, my friend. Hopefully your parties over the weekend went great. Miss Cussouts out there along with NYC Elevator Guy, Prism Films US, Randy, Robert, John, Sam, and Scooby Dooby Goobies in the chat along with Scott and Shermanator Osborne, our resident ancientologist. Shinobi One Kenobi's out there, Shogun, Starlight, or Starlin, Steve Mateo, Teresa Loves Our President, Terrence Bruce, and Fantasy Football Master, the Truth Master, Truba, Wasteland Wonder, Wheelander, and Yell Tommy Tanker, also known as Andy. Wow, I hopefully didn't do that too fast, but I think we kind of got through it all. Wow, happy freaking Monday, everybody. Did you have a good weekend? I hope so. Yeah, I got one of those presents that keeps on giving. I'm dealing with a migraine tonight, so let's have some fun with that. Just want to bring it out. Yeah, I don't need the sympathy. I need the freaking, someone who's sicker than you so you can feel better about yourself. Trust me, it helps. I've done that too many times to count. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the back. Mike, how the hell are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. Better than you're feeling tonight, it seems like. But listen, do us a favor in the back. Put your camera on for us.
Oh, kabam, like that?
Like that. Perfect. Excellent.
Oh, yeah. A little bit slower than usual, but we were used to that sometimes.
Yeah, it's not a problem. Yeah. We'll get through it. We always do. And we'll have fun doing it.
I could have just tackled this with a couple muscle relaxers, but I decided national security is a good way to get through the show and have a fun time along the way also.
It will be. It'll work.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. I see someone holding national security up in the air. Daryl, did you have a glass there? I have two different versions. There we go. The glass to the glass. Chink.
There we go. Chink. Oh, look at that. You got a clear glass.
I've got that one and the Boogosphere.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. It's doing good when I have to pre-pour my drinks. So we'll have a lot of national security today.
The difference between your Boogosphere and the original Boogosphere is yours doesn't have rivets.
No. True. All right, let's get back into the conversation where we're at, Mike. We're back talking about, I guess we can start with some of I guess we're getting the last bits coming from, here. Okay. We're at a point where the House of Representatives is getting set to go out on vacation.
Right.
So we've got some last minute captures of what's coming from those individuals. Burleson, Steve Miller, Representative Tim Burchett, and what they found out, what's going on with respect to the cover up, and hopefully with everybody involved. The CIA. Go figure. They're covering it up.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Like we haven't heard that before.
Oh, I know, but it comes back to it. If you remember, Anna Polina Luna, for the longest time, was always so positive about John Ratcliffe. He told me this. I think they're working with us. But in reality, it's something else, which could mean there's some kind of backdoor deal, potentially, between Luna and Ratcliffe on something. Because
well, we haven't seen it yet, so she hasn't brought anything out.
Nothing comes for free.
Nope.
Nope. There's always a cost.
Maybe she'll get back on the pole for him.
Yeah. I wish I had
nothing is free.
Yeah, I need to get the sound effect panel up here. All right, so let's get into this. Where are we at? Okay, we'll go to Ask a Poll first, and then we'll go next to News Nation. So let's get to some clips and giving us something to talk about. All right, audience. And by the way, chat, I'm sorry. You were turned off. You're turned on now. Good to see you, everybody. All right, here we go. All right, here we got the Ask a Poll website. And just check it out together. All nice. And yeah, not in YouTube, but all right. It's a fist fight, Burchat says. Deep State is hiding full UFO disclosure from President Trump. Okay. Here we got Matt Laszlo going ahead and chasing down Tim Burchett as he's getting ready to get in the car, but it's a point we're going to start hearing in a bunch of places soon, including some conversations that aren't quite about UFOs, but it deals with what we're dealing with here. But let's get to it for the day. And happy Monday again, everybody. All right. So, all right.
Hey, how much?
Oh, no. Get this together. And here we go.
Hey, how much are you guys talking with Stephen Miller these days?
Regularly. Yeah, he's running into problems though. The deep state's blocking a lot of this stuff that the president's trying to get to.
How do you
Hold on a second. This is better than I thought, Mike. If I listen to it ahead of time.
Who is Burchett talking about?
No,
who did Laszlo ask him about?
No, Laszlo's asking about how disclosure is going. Here, let me play it.
Hey, how much are you guys talking with Stephen Miller these
So how much are you talking to Stephen Miller right now?
Yeah. Now I'm curious to see what Burchett says.
Miller is...
He's the assistant chief of staff for President Trump.
Bingo. I think we have him on title card today. Where in the hell is his beautiful mug at? There we go. He's the guy on the left that would look like equivalent to Igor from Dr. Frankenstein, who would be Trump in this point.
Yep.
Which is a good thing. Let me get this back to where we were just at. Studio video, Thomas Guest. All right, so let's get back. So talking about Stephen Miller, now that everybody knows we're on the same boat of who Stephen Miller is.
these days?
Regularly. Yeah,
So he's talking to him regularly, and...
Good.
Yeah, he's running into problems, though.
He's running into problems, though.
Okay. Well, this goes back to what we were talking about when we first heard this.
But let's hear the rest of this from who the problems and where it gets into it.
Okay.
So the deep state's blocking a lot of this stuff that the president's trying to get to.
So the deep state is blocking a lot of the information that Trump is trying to get to.
Uh-huh. What I'd like to know is who specifically in the government is blocking Stephen Miller. Is he going to name them? Because he should.
Yeah,
it's not the deep state. There's a name to that. Who specifically in the government is refusing the president's assistant chief of staff any information on this?
Right.
That's what we need to know as the public.
Well, that's what we're kind of dealing with right now, it seems, Mike.
Well, then we should get that information so we could deal with it appropriately, which if he put it out there, we would. Put it out there. So let's see what else he says.
I agree. The deep state needs to get a face so everybody knows who the deep state is, because otherwise it just is a Republican talking point. It's just a Republican talking point.
Right. That's the problem I'm having with it.
Start naming names, right?
What agency? Who's in charge of that agency? What management position are they in? What are their names? What are they blocking?
What specific individual is going on doing this, right?
Yeah, and what are they refusing the president's authority to disclose? Like information like that. Now, if they gave it to us, we would look into it, we'd cover it for the public, and we would put it all out there for everybody.
So, hey, if there was anybody who I'd love to go ahead and have to go ahead and fight for this and get the information and tell Trump what the hell is going on, it's Stephen Miller.
Right.
So all the people saying Trump isn't paying attention to this, there's other things. Mike, he likes to play fucking 4D chess, doesn't he? This is one of the chess boards he's playing.
Right.
And if they tried to usurp his power as president, do you think that'll go down well?
Probably not. But it would be nice to know if these people have a fucking name.
Well, I'm sure we haven't heard, but Stephen Miller knows specifically who is fucking around with the president.
I would think he would have to.
Isn't going over well.
Probably not, but we don't know unless we were able to find out. But I also think that we could potentially ask around.
Right. Someone.
And find out.
God damn it. Right. Sorry, that was that one.
We could call the people we know and see who's blocking Stephen Miller.
Right. So let's get to the rest of this. Now, Firefly, if you were blocked, just hold on a second, girl. I need to go fix this. I have no idea who in the fuck would have blocked you. Let me get into here. You guys can't see this. Let me just get to the back end of the studio. I don't like mods or someone accidentally. You know what? I should be able to go ahead and find her. I've got the chat up and running. No, she's not blocked.
It shouldn't be.
No, she's not blocked. If I go to her really quick, she is a standard moderator. Yeah, she's fine. So, Jan? So, not somebody else.
She's not blocked, yeah.
Yeah. Not me, someone else. Well, if there's a different Firefly that's out there, I don't see anyone who was potentially blocked. We'll look for it after the show. Anyway, let's get back to this. Here we go. Sorry, that was me being freaking out of it a little bit because of my migraine. Here we go, folks.
How do you get past that?
Well, there's some legislation that moved on some whistleblower stuff that was in one of the bills. So I hope maybe that'll help clear up a lot of it. But it's a fist fight.
Hold on.
One of the bills, so I hope maybe that was in legislation that moved on some whistleblower stuff that was in one of the bills.
So they're talking about whistleblower stuff that was in the UAP DA.
DA? No, it wasn't.
3.
No.
Yeah.
There's nothing specifically addressing whistleblowers in the UAP DA. Now, he did propose a bill, Burchett, standalone bill.
Hold on.
Maybe he's talking about that.
Yes, there is stuff about whistleblowers.
Okay.
It's on page 48.
And what does it say about whistleblowers?
It's on page 92. It's on page 94 and page 158. So, yeah, I keep this document up for this reason. I've never shut it down since we got it, and we're going to keep on getting to it. So, this is under Section 10, fraud on red flags, missed and fraud, penetrated. Okay, that's not UAP related. Let me get past this one. This one is from the UAPDA because I can see we've got stuff here. Enforcement of subpoena. It's not subpoenas, but subpoena. All right, so enforcement of subpoena. A subpoena issued under paragraph 1C3 may be enforced at any federal court acting pursuant to the law. Lawful request of the review board. Witness immunity. The review board shall be considered to be an agency of the U.S. purposes, blah, 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 the U.S. Title 18 Code, United States. Witnesses, close observers, and whistleblowers providing information directly to the review board shall also be afforded the protections provided to such persons. specified under Section 1763B of the James M. Inhofe National Defense Authorization Act for fiscal year 2023. So they are offering whistleblower immunity as part of it. And if I then go to the next one we have, review board to access testimony and witnesses. The review board shall have access to all testimony. You know what? I need to change this color here, so we're just different day. Let's go with purple. We haven't done purple yet. The review board access to testimony and witnesses. The review board shall have access to testimony from unidentified anomalous phenomena, witnesses, close observers, and legacy program personnel, and whistleblowers within the federal government's possession as of and after the date of the enactment of this act. Solicitation of additional witnesses. The review board shall solicit additional UAP witnesses and whistleblower testimony and afford protections under 1673B if deemed beneficial in fulfilling review board responsibilities under the subtitle. So again, this is solicit. They can go ahead and solicit additional people who could be a whistleblower to come forward. So that's another one. And I think the last one, let's see if that's here. That has nothing to do with UAP. So there are a couple points where they do talk about whistleblowers that we've covered, and it's interesting. It is talking about immunity. So how does that kind of relate to what Burchett was just saying? Dun, 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 let's make the jump on that one, where he's saying, let me rewind him a little bit.
There's some movement, he said.
Moved on some whistleblower stuff.
Past that.
Well,
there's no volume. Good.
There's some legislation that moved on some whistleblower stuff that was in one of the bills, so I hope maybe that'll help clear up a lot of it. But it's a fist fight. It's been that way since 1947, and we're not going to do it overnight.
That's just giving in.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
At the table a little bit more in these talks?
Oh, he's in it, but he's the one that's being denied. I mean, the deep state is real. It crosses party lines, and it's crooked as a dog's leg.
Hey, have a good dog.
It's as crooked as a dog's leg. So the White House is fighting the battle. Now, that was a title card for tonight's show. Oh, okay. Trump battled, well, the Trump fight for disclosure is what it is. Trump fights for UFO disclosure. Trump fighting. Jesus Christ.
And Stephen Miller is he's Homelander.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that. He's literally the Homeland Security advisor. So there you go. It's a weird look for Homelander, going from good looking to Stephen Miller.
That job seems to really take its toll on you, huh, Darryl?
Yeah. I think Stephen Miller's looked like this since high school, actually, but
probably.
Yeah.
But the job hasn't helped, I'm sure.
Yeah. He was apparently a master debater in high school. True story.
Yeah, who wasn't?
No, he really was.
What was the one saying when someone waits to masturbates?
Yeah.
That was another that was from Blazing Saddles 2, I think. 86.
I didn't know there was a Blazing Saddles 2.
There wasn't.
No, it was in Blazing Saddles also, I should say.
Oh, okay. Yes, Teresa loves our president. Stephen Miller is a bulldog, which is why I'd like to see some of these names come out. Or at least go to Trump, because anything that goes to Trump and then they're slow rolling him, you're fired.
Yeah, no shit. All right. Give me a second. This is the third iteration of this damn title card. but I'm going to do it anyway. What the hell, the audience? Yeah, you just saw me. Go ahead and change the title card. So, all right. So we got this going on. Interesting coming from, if you want to call it, Matt Laszlo. But wait, there's more. All right. So we got a whole 6 seconds here talking to Stephen Miller, but this is the only 6 seconds anybody has gotten out of Stephen Miller. So,
right.
Man.
So let's see what he says.
Yep. With those little kids.
How's UAP disclosure going?
That wasn't even an answer.
Yeah,
oh my God.
I've heard him speak for about an hour, but never on disclosure. I've never heard him speak on disclosure at all.
No, you haven't heard him speak on disclosure now either. So
now we've got some clips of Burleson. First one talking, this was from actually 4 days ago on the 23rd, but they'll start off the Burleson role that we're playing. And you know what, let's skip this one. Anyway, let's play it. It's fucking 25 seconds long. This is Matt Laszlo's chasing him towards the bathroom, not from the bathroom.
Vote. I don't want to miss this. Okay, go vote. Go vote. Thank you, sir. Thanks for your follow. Hey,
you got the UAP DA?
can I tuck on the way back?
But you got the UAP DA?
I know.
In there?
High five.
How do you do that?
Diligence, and like absolute relentlessness.
Yeah.
And so it's a longer story. I'll tell you later.
Are you worried the Senate's going to try to strip it out?
I am. The public has to fight to keep it in.
Yeah.
There you go. So from there, we now go to not UAP Jesus, but UAP James. This is coming from 26 just yesterday at 7:45 a.m. We didn't play it because we didn't have a show yesterday, so let's get to it. Burleson says Stephen Miller is providing him with multiple avenues to make whistleblowers feel comfortable. So kind of what we're hearing here is, Daryl and Mike, is that the language for this executive directive is fluidic, meaning it's not put in writing. And as time goes on and they hear more things, it kind of flows and adapts to help the cause.
Yeah, I mean, I think that may be, I've said this the last 4 shows, I think that may be a symptom of him dealing with a lot of different powers that be that probably have very deep pockets to make anything happen in the world, and people die. So I think, I think to that, I'm saying to that extent, I just think that he may be just working under the table. And I think it's not Trump, honestly. It's Stephen Miller. I think he's working under the table.
But that's what we kind of called out last week. It sounds like there's some under the table deals going here. Some, I'll give you this, you give me that kind of negotiations that you never want to have on board for Uncle Vinny.
Here's the thing they don't want to do. They don't. Stephen Miller would be the perfect person to take this up and be in charge of it. They don't want to be caught in some trap that makes them look stupid. And he's sussing out all the information to make sure. I'm assuming he's sussing out all this information he's getting to make sure that if they go public with something, that it's and it's going to be proof, a supposed proof, that it's got to be 100% correct. And I guarantee you the deep state is making sure that they do something that makes them look stupid.
I mean, if they do disclosure, then that could be a massive boon for Wall Street, and Wall Street would go up higher and higher. Trump would probably like that if they did the disclosure. Okay, like maybe aliens tech, boom, it goes higher and higher and higher.
I think that's yet to be seen, man. Here's the thing about why the stock market is the stock market is because you cannot predict human emotion, humans deciding something. That's the reason why nobody has a perfect stock pick every single time, because you can't figure out people.
Daryl, alien tech changes everything. Alien tech, it changes everything.
I think for some people, they're going to continue going to work.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Anyway, it's still I think the same conclusion we reach every day is this is it's at least a good sign that something is going on, and it's going on somewhat in the public, which means more people should be asking questions and demanding answers.
Right. Oh, a quick announcement for the audience. You don't know this yet, but I've got Lou Elizondo penciled in at this point for Friday the 7th of August.
Sweet.
Could have had him on the 6th, which is a Thursday, not a big night. If he could Friday night disclosure with Lou Elizondo, we'll have some friends. He has a bar. Why not? We'll have a fun time.
No, you say penciled in, so we shouldn't get all excited about this?
Or until I get the answer back, says yes, absolutely perfect. I had a range of dates. He said after the 5th, we're good. And I said, let's go for the 7th.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
It is. It'll be great to have him back. We'll let him do some monologues and talk about some stuff, answer some of our questions, and just give us an insight on to, where do we go from here?
Yeah, and what's happening? I'd like to ask him these questions about the deep state.
Well,
he's
been talking about the deep state. Those who are in public offices, if you want to call them the career, what do you call it? What are those employees? Bureaucrats. The bureaucrats who are in the CIA,
the unelected
people
officials.
who hold regular jobs in the CIA, FBI, all these different agencies, the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, Department of Energy, and when they have the ability to, and you're getting requests from the president, they look at the president as the temporary employee that they're going to go ahead and get rid of, and he's only here for a period of time, so they slow walk things going forward, and they also do what they can do. Lou called it before administrative suicide, where they basically throw themselves on the fucking rails of the train of disclosure moving forward. And this has been going on for the longest time in the federal government. But now we've actually got a president, and we're getting things that are coming forward where we're hearing about it, like from the president's, number one guys on the side, and he's trying to get it, and he's getting shut down. And it's going to the president, which is like, they're telling Trump no. That usually doesn't end well for someone, does it, Daryl?
I mean, if Trump finds out about it, no.
No, exactly.
He's the one who, he's not a king, but you can't fire anybody in the government.
He understands and recognizes the power of the presidency, and people say, you stop being a king. No, he's being the president as per our laws, right?
I'm just saying he has the power to fire. I think he has the power to fire anybody in government.
Oh, yeah.
At least at the moment that he says it, then it'll be challenged in court.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, we got some people in a chat with TDS, but you know what? This is about the only president we're going to get it. So enjoy it, push for it, go towards it. You can call them whatever names you're going to call them, but the truth of the matter is, Daryl, and everybody in the audience, the only one who's given us disclosure really right now is Trump.
I mean, it's the chaotic. It's Trump. He's not a career politician, so he comes in here. He doesn't have to pay back a lot of people at his age. So he is very loosey-goosey with wielding his tongue because he doesn't care. And so this is the kind of president you want. You don't want a career politician because the career politician is in bed with the deep state.
Someone who else doesn't care is Robert Bigelow, and we're waiting for that day where he gives this speech and just says, fuck it, I don't care. Here's what I know.
Yeah, I think that day will come if nothing ever comes here. I do see Bigelow in the spotlight again at some point, for whatever reason.
Oh, yeah. Really, it's not here. And recent. Okay. I'm set for the future.
Yeah. But you know what? I do think it'd be interesting to have a show that would just go and interview every career government employee that's been there in a director or above position for more than 15 years. And I just want to see that show. I want to see, how is it somebody stays in the same exact position for 15 years? That just seems like a
like Susan
very,
Goff.
the very same position. I just I find that really, let's go and dispose. Let's expose them.
It's too.
I mean, at least maybe it's a feel-good show. Maybe these people, they love their job. I wouldn't go to any other job. I keep denying all the other promotions they keep trying to give me over the last 15 years to stay in this one position. I'm just saying there's something up there, and Susan Goff is the figurehead of that whole discussion.
I've been able to do that for 12 years. They just kept on increasing my title, but it's the same position I've had for 12 years. It's wonderful.
They do what to your title? It's the same title.
They keep on giving me higher titles and everything as the organization
higher titles.
changes,
Yeah.
as the organization grows and forms and stuff.
Yeah, I'm a witness to that myself. So,
all right. So here we go.
Trump said yesterday that he's going to, they got a process. We're going to waive non-disclosure agreements, so that's going to be coming forward. We're getting ready to issue a statement. My office that.
Go on. Start again.
Trump said yesterday that
Trump said yesterday. Again, verbal. No freaking accounting minutes, notes that were taken for the minutes.
We've got that he's going to, they got a process. We're going to waive non-disclosure agreements, so that's going to be coming forward. We're getting ready to issue a statement. My office that we're working through with Stephen Miller. If you have information you want to come to my office, we can shepherd you through. He's giving me multiple avenues to make people feel comfortable so that they can waive their non-disclosure agreements and then provide information.
Hold on a second here. So if you've got something that you want to say, come into my office and talk to me, and I'll shepherd you through the process. That's an important term. I don't think a lot of people picked up on that, Daryl, because that means from a contractual legal standpoint, we're going to help you get from all the steps it's going to take, and don't worry about it. It's going to be easy for you. We're going to be doing all the hard steps and everything else to get there.
Yeah, that's a real easy thing. You go to Burleson's Senate website, bang, bang, boom. You can send him an email. There you go.
Yeah. Well, then they get to the conversation with him, and then he sees where it is to as a pre-qualification, if you want to call it, and he helps those right people get through the process. Sweaty, your hand, you popped in. What's up?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, my bad. I hit the button by mistake.
No problem. Enjoy it, my friend. Thank you.
And so hopefully Burleson leads them to pursue.
You think Burleson would lead him to fucking Susan Goff from Morrow?
I certainly hope not.
I don't think so.
Or let's just go interview all the people with man buns in the government. I want to find out who this guy is that Burchat's always talking about. Sorry, I did a call back to the.
Oh, that's absolutely wonderful. So, okay, let's get some more coming from Burleson. Here we go.
Is to make people feel comfortable so that they can waive their non-disclosure agreements and then provide information in a secure environment.
Are there people who
so they're going to talk to them, make them feel comfortable, and help them so they could go ahead and tell their information in a secure environment, which is a SCIF.
Mm-hmm.
You know who's missing from this whole conversation, or bring it up again? Where the hell is Anna-Paulina Luna at?
I don't know. I didn't search for her. she just
No, we haven't heard shit from her. Not for a while.
Well, she has had strange bedfellows at Avi Lube, so.
No, let's not go there. He's in the chat. Avi.
Avi Lube / Gary / Ben / Ed.
who have already expressed interest in doing that? I mean,
yeah, I've got a meeting tomorrow morning. So this is, I think it's going to shake some things loose. Hopefully more people will feel confident and comfortable to come forward.
So there have been so many fucking naysayers out there. Oh my God, this is horrible. There's no protections. Nothing's going on. We can't bring stuff forward. But it sounds like so far, based on two congressmen talking about Stephen Miller, what he's doing as the president. You know, what was it? They said it was in the top 10, and then they said it was in the top 5, but really the top 3 we've heard of things that the president wants to get done.
Yeah, well, I mean, based on popularity, 2 billion hits on the UFO DOW side is what he paid attention to.
Right. Now, First Contact says that Trump needs to issue executive order to give blanket amnesty to whistleblowers. No, he is actually doing it. He's not putting it in writing because it keeps on changing. But here's the basis of it. It's like, no, we're going to include these people. No, we're going to include them. But here's the thing. When a president gives a directive, whether it's verbal or written, it's the same thing as an executive order, exact same power and everything. He's just leaving it a little more fluid because we don't know the exact details of everything, I think.
And every time you put something in writing, then it becomes weaponized legally.
Oh, he agreed. There we go. Yeah, we called it right. You called it right, Joseph. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. So we saw that one. All right, so our next one we go. That's the one we just saw. Burleson, he was on June 24th. That's 3 days ago. I think we played this on Saturday. 3 years information related to UAPs has been classified. Yeah, one of the things he's saying here, a good point to bring across from Burleson, if we haven't said it so far, call your fucking senator. Even if you live in Washington, you've got like frickin' not Patty Murray, the other one. Yeah. If you live in Washington, if you live in any state across the United States, go ahead and reach out to your congressman, your senator, to go ahead and say, pass the UAP Disclosure Act. It's bipartisan. It's totally bipartisan. We need to get there.
Is that Burleson again? Man, it's like a before and after picture.
I know.
That's the before.
That is the story. That is the the Ozempic card that's out there. Who is the?
This was me 5 months ago.
The senator for Washington, is it Perry Murray? No, it's hold on. Yeah, it is Perry Murray and Maria Cantwell. I'm sorry, I forgot Maria.
Cantwell.
Cantwell, yes.
Cantwell.
Cantwell. Cantwell.
Okay. Don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
One of the wins that we got was the UAP Disclosure Act, and that we're basically going to be formalizing the current process that has been operating, that Donald Trump has begun, which is declassification of anything that has to do with the phenomenon of maybe non-human intelligence. This board will receive anything that's from all the agencies, and then they are required basically to declassify them after, if it's been 25 years or older, it's by default automatically they're expected to declassify. But it basically sets a posture of having the declassification switch on, and in order for them to have to stop something, they have to actually take action to stop it. One of the wins that we got was the...
All right, so there we go. He's working for it. He's been talking about it. He's been consistent. And my God, he's lost a lot of weight. So good for him.
Oh, boy.
Oh, I know. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, it's here already. It's at the top of the list, and I didn't even want to get it there. Yeah, hold it. He's here. Oh, where is that? Let's get to this and make a little bit. Come on. Really, you're not going to do that? Okay. You're not going to pretend that you're a mobile device. Brave. No. All right. So we got Dr. Phil is hanging out on Piers Morgan. Question is, did he just get the White House early access to Tranche 5 of the UAP files? Same playbook as Tranche 4. He walks in review. Okay, so we've got a short conversation between Piers Morgan and Dr. Phil. Now, before throw it at the top of my list. If I go to my bookmarks and get ready in this, where is it at? We've got that one, the Carathon. We haven't gotten there yet. All right. Dr. Phil says, I was invited to the White House to view the latest collection of UAP disclosure files before it reached the public. I recently sat down with my friend Piers Morgan to share some of what I saw, which means he's just seen Tranche 5. Now, Tyler Rogoway, who I love so much from the War Zone, came out and said, how about you invite some actual experts for VIP reviews of this stuff? What does Dr. Phil know about advanced physics, military technology, sensors, etc.?
Those people aren't necessarily relatable all the time. That's why.
But what I said was perhaps he better relates to the normies than the usual talking heads on this subject. The actual experts you reference most likely leverage a vernacular that's not engaging with the general public.
Thank you. That's my point exactly. Whoever Thomas Fessler is, that guy. One person
responded, but I'm not seeing it. But either way, they're hiding it because the person's reply was so nice. Thank you, X. But that's the truth. You hear people talk about stuff, and even Christopher Mellon, he gets in, he'll start dropping the 3-letter abbreviations for stuff, and as soon as you get into there, you're fucking turning everybody off. Everyone's going to stop listening to you because you're bringing in things that people don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
So,
if you had an alien in a bikini, however, people would pay attention. So that's what we really need.
Yeah. So I think we've got that one, and then we've got 2 clips here from Piers Morgan. Let's. Oh, excellent. I'll just do it this way then. Hold on. Go that way. Go that way. Have it. There we go. So let's get to our first clip. Here we go, folks. Let's enjoy it.
I have seen electronic evidence that I believe indicates that there are aircraft that are doing things that we don't have the technology to do. There are aircraft that are making maneuvers at speeds and G-forces that we simply don't have the capability to do. And
Daryl, you know what he's talking about.
Speed and G-forces?
And the maneuvers. He's talking about the fucking Tic Tac incident. Are we going to get the original files on that?
Huh, that would be interesting.
Oh, hell yeah. It would shut fucking Michael Shermer up.
Wait, is he saying this is what we're about to see?
Well, no, just listen to what he's talking about here.
That I have seen.
He have seen.
Electronic evidence.
Electronic evidence.
That I believe indicates that there are aircraft that are doing things that we don't have the technology to do. There are aircraft that are making maneuvers at speeds and G-forces that we simply don't have the capability to do. And it's not.
I mean, that sounds like the Tic Tac incident. It's not the go fast.
But when he says I've seen it, haven't we all seen that? Maybe he's seen exactly what we've seen.
Well, no. Well, maybe there's something more. It's what it kind of sounds like. We'll see.
Is that it?
See.
Oh, there's more to it. Okay.
A close call, Piers. We've seen the capability to do, and it's not a close call.
So it's not a close call. They do some good editing here. Props to Dr. Phil's staff for going ahead and cutting it down to the exact words. But yeah, it's not even a close call. It sounds ticky-tacky to me. All right, so what are people saying on the chat? Hey, we got a super chat tonight. How about that? Shogun Orta, thank you for the wonderful super chat, my friend. Let me turn that off, bring it up again. Orta, well, Shogun, you're a dude, I think. You're not Shoga. I am fine with Phil being there for normies, but he's still not an expert. I wish he would say the experts have seen. Good translator, though. Yeah. There's plenty of other people who are going to say that stuff of what they saw, and they'll talk about it. At least it sounds like he's kind of keeping his psychologist box that he has.
Yeah, because you used a good example, Chris Mellon. If he were to start talking about this, he's just boring. I'm sorry, but a lot of people are going to lose interest because they don't have the attention span to listen to monotone stuff. I mean, it's just marketing 101, man. That's the reason why you have splashy commercials and turtles that tell you about rashes in certain places.
Oh, yeah, we got those.
Tell your doctor about lightheadedness, weakness, fever, pain, tenderness, redness, or swelling between the anus and genitals.
See, that was made to get your attention. Who the fuck would use a turtle with glasses to talk about that? Come on. So you need the turtle doctor to come out, and Dr. Phil on our topic here is the turtle doctor.
Reason they're spying on them, but we don't know that, and in fact the release of the files implies that the Pentagon or the intelligence agencies are not confident that these are human-made objects, and that's part of the reason why they approach scientists like myself. And
okay, now let's go back to listening to Phil.
Piers, we've seen some aircraft on radar screens and tracking, and they've also been visually confirmed by credible observers, military pilots.
Again, he's talking about the frickin' Tic Tac. How many other incidents have we talked about the radar operators? None.
Him? No, he hasn't.
Oh, God. I can't zoom that in, but I have to. Sorry.
Oh, Lord. You know what it's begging for is it's begging for this clip to be played at half speed.
No, we're not going to get there.
I know you're not going to do that. I'm just saying.
No, I can't. We like him too much.
Commercial aircraft pilots and seen by different people and on different tracking devices that would.
I know it's not as fun as watching someone else on that. So let's get.
It's better with Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Oh God, yes.
Devices that would be making maneuvers that G-forces would be like 10,000. We don't have that capability. There's no.
And talking G-forces of 10,000 again. That's the frickin' Tic Tac when they're doing the 90-degree frickin' right turn.
I think there's somebody in the chat. Somebody in the chat says, sounds drunk. Another guy says, I understand him better now.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, my God, that's funny.
Okay, so national security worked in place of muscle relaxers.
Oh, good.
Thank fucking God on that.
I got to get my cherry out of there.
Well, there you go. I'm not interested in that. Thank you very much. Thanks for the cheers. Until the audience, and I just got it again by leaning right here up the right side. No, it'll mellow out. There we go.
For that. And of all the sightings that are out there that I've seen going through these 4 different groups of disclosure documents, about 40% of them are just simply not explainable by our own technology.
But wait a minute, he just talked about the 4 different groups.
Different groups of disclosure documents out there that I've seen going through these 4 different groups of disclosure documents.
So it sounds like he's seen more stuff, but then he pulls it back later in the conversation. We'll figure him out over time. He's new to the overall community. It's someone we're going to have to take with a grain of salt. Now, there is another 57 seconds where Phil is talking on Pierce Morgan. Pierce, we love you. Sorry if we haven't had our warning up.
Tell your doctor about lightheadedness, weakness, fever, pain, tenderness, redness, or swelling between the anus and genitals.
Oh, but it has nothing to do with any of your podcasts. That's something else. It has to thank the drug company. No, actually, I think the cyclosporic conversation is still growing, Daryl. It hasn't stopped.
Oh, no. What's better? What's more fun to talk about than people having exploding diarrhea? I mean,
after eating Taco Bell.
Keep those turtles busy.
What is the old thing? Montezuma's Revenge?
Yes. And that's a real thing if you've ever been to parts of Mexico.
I haven't been to Mexico, and I haven't been to India yet, although that could be a thing.
No.
I was very skeptical going into this. I'll tell you this. I think our government, they've been lying to the American people for 79 years. Sure. Not only have they been lying by omission and withholding information, I think there has been an active program of misinformation and misdirection. And I don't think that's by accident. I think it's been planned. And if you go back and look...
Hold on. He's going to talk about two trannies here.
Misdirection. And there has been an active program of misinformation and misdirection.
Misinformation, misdirection. They have way too big. They're way too fat, way too much makeup. Stay away. Scary tranny couple that you'd ever run into. Sorry, but it's actually true.
And I don't think that's by accident. I think it's been planned. And if you go back and look at the documents that have been released, where you go back to 1947, where they were burying information. 1949, there's a classified conference in Los Alamos where they were spotting these things appearing over America's nuclear weapon sites, but they're saying, no, there's nothing to it. The Robertson panel in 1953 convened and recommended a public education campaign built on one strategy: publicize the cases that have already been debunked and say nothing about the ones we can't explain. I mean, that was their strategy. I was very skeptical going into this.
So, his strategy sounds pretty good. It sounds like he's on target here, Mike. What do you think?
It sounds like he's on target. If Mike's not there.
Yeah, I'm right here. No, he's been right on target the whole time.
Yeah.
A lot of people throw shit his way, and they don't agree with him, but I haven't heard him say one wrong word on what he's been covering so far.
Some of the stuff, when he gets into a little bit of the technical stuff, he gets a little bit in the weeds, but he's trying. He's getting up to speed all right, Andy. But the overall conversation and the mood that he's pushing for the normies is kind of what we need. It's what we've needed for the longest time.
Oh, absolutely. And he's putting it into perspective for them with what's been hidden, what's been covered up, how long this has been going on. He's giving the general public all the information that they normally wouldn't hear from the proponents of this, the normal talking heads in this community.
Yeah.
But they'll hear Dr. Phil.
They will, and they do, and it's important. You get people like Pierce Morgan. If you want to hear the full interview, it's available over on YouTube. Just go ahead and search for it. It's a great point, and not a lot of people agrees with everything that he says. But you know what? So, what do you want to say? Something?
Oh yeah, no, I agree with you totally 100%. It sounds like he does his research. Like, you know what I mean? Like, sounds like he's really into this. You know what I'm saying? Because, if you hear him talking, he's basically saying like, cause at first he was skeptic. Then he did his research and everything else. He's telling the American public, hey, our government has been lying.
Yeah.
So kudos to him, for doing his due diligence.
Oh, definitely. It's something that just it spans across the world, and it's a topic that everyone should be interested in because, well, we'll see where it goes in the next couple of years, but it could be a doozy. All right, Joseph, your hand is up, my friend.
There's one thing that I think needs to be explained to the general public, and that's the G-force reference. Now, it is my understanding that's the gravity force, right? And maybe I'm not even sure about it, but I guess if you weigh 200 pounds on Earth and you have 10 Gs working on you, you actually weigh 2,000 pounds? Is that the way that works?
A better way to look at it, if you were on the vehicle that made the maneuver, right, from at the speed that it was going at and did a 90-degree turn, you would you would hit up the wall and you would end up with a consistency of probably like a can of stewed tomatoes at most.
Right.
That's what's going to be left of your entire fucking body is stewed tomatoes, but it's stewed human because of the amount of force that it will require, which means if there are living creatures inside of those things, there's a gravitational warp field that extends around the craft. So when that craft is doing all these things, the stuff that's inside that craft is not subjected to those horrible G-forces that go on because they're not moving in our atmosphere. Reality is wrapping around their craft. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
100%. I agree. Yeah. But I think that at least my mother had no idea what G-force was. And I tried to explain it to her. And I said, you know, it's not possible for anything alive to survive something like that. And then she, you know, kind of got it.
Well, but, use the tomato, stewed tomatoes example. She'll get it.
Okay.
Because the force is so strong, it'll hitch up against the inside of the craft so hard that it will really reduce your body to like the consistency of stewed tomatoes. I know it's not a pretty sight though, but it kind of is, you know.
No, listen.
Everybody knows what a can of stewed tomatoes looks like.
That's an excellent description for the average person.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing. How can we find the analogies so everybody gets it? Yes, Nick?
Yes, Thomas. Do you think he saw the fifth tranche or not?
At the beginning, it kind of sounds like it, but at the end, he only talks about 4. So at one point in the conversation, it sounds like he's had visuals of stuff beyond what we've seen. Radar tracks and other stuff, which there hasn't been a radar track that's been released yet, right? Or did I miss it?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. So I guess it comes down to Trump disclosure is a bit more fluid, and it's not as much as cut and dry as we're kind of used to because of the deep state pushing back and the president fighting for the truth for humanity. God.
Yeah. And I stick that out there. I stay by what I said. If you put it out there the way it has been done, you're going to get more of what hasn't been done. So, you know, this is accelerated. It's accelerated because it's Stephen Miller pushing the ball forward, and just let him keep doing it.
Right. And it's going on and it's moving things forward and it's happening. And it's someone who's really close to the president. So we don't need someone who's in the House of Representatives or in the Senate or someplace else saying we're trying to get this and they're blocking it. No, it's Stephen Miller who's taking up the fucking phone, bitching at people on the phone, getting shut down on different stuff. And he is like right next to the president.
The biggest worry for me is if Stephen Miller, and I think you saw what happened.
Yes,
he had asked, you saw, you know, somebody who was at Laszlo was, hey, what about disclosure? And he pretended he didn't hear that. And I don't know if anybody's ever noticed this, but if you're in the Trump administration and a lot of attention gets put on you, you're in the crosshairs. So he probably does not want to be known as anything having to be a champion of anything.
Yeah.
Do you I play the video I sent you, Thomas?
Oh, give me a second. God. I'm trying to find the clips with Stephen Miller.
No.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no.
I can't find it. We'll get there. What was that again, Nick?
Send it back chat.
We got Vance here. Yes. Oh, that is so fucking hilarious. But I was trying to find Stephen
You'll get a
Miller
strike
from
for
South
that.
Park.
That would be a strike if you played that, wouldn't it?
Only for a couple seconds, and if I did it without audio,
could you save it on the night that you're going to play? Could you save it on the night that you're going to? Dr. Phil's going to come and rob everything. Save it for that night. Not Dr. Phil, his company.
No, I know that. We'll find the clips, folks. It's too good. You even get the entrance for not that one, damn it. Where'd it go? He had the whole startup for Fantasy Island. All right. The audience is enjoying it, so let's have some fun. All right. We got that one taken care of. All right. So, I thought you got the, okay. So you've got the, okay. So we've got an interview with Lenville Logan. Remember Lenville Logan? Everybody? He's the guy who came
friends
forward.
On LinkedIn.
He was at the whistleblower dinner with Mike Morris. Mike, we love you, my friend. You were hanging out with Lenville Logan. We heard a bunch about him, but he's never really come forward on anything. He's been kind of, if you want to call it, hanging out on the side, not talking about anything. So there is a clip of Lenville getting into it. Now, Sweaty, you need to take a look at the lighting Lenville has and up your game, my friend, because he's got you.
Someone came up to me.
So he's going to talk here about, Nick has always been really big into the agreements we have between the humans and the aliens, but in reality, it would be like the aliens having, the humans having an agreement with the frickin' anthill, potentially, if there are advances we realize they are. But here we go.
Someone came up to me and he said, I was told to tell you. I was like, uh-oh. And he's like, I was told to tell you that the ones that are flying around now are the ones that broke the treaty. I was like, whoa, what?
Okay, so he's talking specifically about saying that in 1952 or 54, whatever it is, 54, I think, Eisenhower met with the aliens in an Air Force base where they came down and landed, and we signed a treaty between them and us. But here's the thing. Are we just going to go ahead and fucking sign something without even negotiating? But either way, we potentially signed something. So what he's talking about here is saying the ones we got flying around the sky right now, they broke the treaty with us. But honestly, my feeling on the inside, knowing how honest and thoughtful and thought-right and willingness to go ahead and follow prior obligations that our federal government probably, if there was an agreement with a non-human intelligence, is in violation of that agreement, because we'll never get shit done when it needs to get done. Even though we promise stuff, we never fucking deliver. It's just kind of where it is. So if that's the case, but that's how I see it. Lenville says it, that he was told, but we'll get through this whole thing. There's no proof of anything. So let's get into the story.
Treaty, more questions, you're laying on there. And he's like, the treaty that they made back in the 50s and the 60s. And I was like, so I had to do some reading, find out what treaty and whatever. And I was like, okay, why was the treaty broken? What's in the treaty? All those details. Right. Why was the treaty broken? What's in the treaty? All those details. But you're not going to get those things because nobody knows anything. Or if they do, they're not talking. The ones that really know anything.
So nobody really knows anything, right? But the whole thing is, we entered into an agreement. We supposedly entered it into agreement, and the aliens are the ones that broke the agreement, but there's no facts or basis or anything to back it up. That is classic ufology. It's classic ufology. It's a lore. It's a story. You could even call it, for some, it could be a romance novel for some women who got into a theory of things. You want to hear stuff, get it in, but it's not a romance novel. It's a UFO disclosure novel. But, we just have to take it, put a label on it, put it up on the shelf behind us. And if something ever pops up that agrees with that, then we've got a reference to it. But until now, don't get overly excited and tied into it, because, as he said at the very end,
if they do, they're not talking. The ones that really know anything. All those details. But you're not going to get those things because nobody knows.
If there was an agreement, Nick, you think we wouldn't know That wouldn't be passed down from succession of the position, because it's not from administration to administration. You're talking about a part of the executive branch that works in a bubble, that follows every administration that goes on, gets unlimited funding, whatever it needs to do, and it goes on. And there's a set number of positions and people that are in there to handle this stuff and to manage it. So when one person goes out, they're going to replace that one person. It's not just going to die off. And there's a full probably transfer of information that's been fully documented from one person to the next, right?
I personally think that they wouldn't tell people. I think they would keep it secret because I think we just devastated to the public. The public couldn't handle it.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, I'm not human.
But if it was there, and I'm just looking at it from a continuity of government COG standpoint, which means that irrespective of anything goes on, this organization needs to survive and succeed going forward. And here are all the reasons why it's going to get there. So it's just something that's kind of there that goes along with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's hard for, it's just hard to tell the average person, okay, we sold you out for technology.
Well, wait until we get there. The average person doesn't need to know because they'll come across thinking we're fucking hanging out in the grocery store in the cereal aisle between the Fruit Loops and Lucky Charms, or perhaps we're off in the bulk foods between the dried fruits and nuts. It's just you just have to stay off the fringe, keep to the core, and know we'll get there. And if people push back, you don't need to argue it, and it's just because you're probably not going to be able to change your mind unless, have them go watch Dr. Phil. But on this note, since this is a little more risky, I think we want to get here. We've got Tim Burchett talking about UFO disclosure is real on Planet Iris. Iris from the Greg Gutfeld show. He's part of the 5 at times, or more on Gutfeld. So
I think he made his fame fighting the UFC, didn't he? He was some sort of fighter.
Yeah, absolutely. But these days, that's where I see him the most.
Sure.
So let's see how he handles this conversation. We'll watch a bit of it. There's a bunch to get to, and we'll probably cover it over several days. Here we go.
If the American people are paying for it, we should be able to get a receipt.
And the disclosure is real. And the problem we're having right now is the deep state is blocking a lot of this. I'm in a secure hearing, and a little punk with a man bun tells me that the president's on a need-to-know basis. Now, what world am I living in?
I don't need the shows and the arguments, just the fact.
I mean, this is all recent, as of 4 days ago, so it all lines to everything we were just hearing from Burchett. President's on a need-to-know basis, and he doesn't need to know. Carol, that sounds like a survey.
Same thing we just heard from James O'Keefe and his undercover reporting from the guy that's been there for 16 years, saying the same thing. So what would you like to have the poll say?
What world am I? Tells me that the president's on a need-to-know basis. Now, what world am I living in?
I don't need
Okay, so well, we already know what the answer is going to be, so we can say, should the president, is it illegal for the president to be on a need-to-know basis, or legal? Or should the president be on a need-to-know basis for UFOs, even if he's investigating it?
How about for anything? Is there a need-to-know basis?
Should the president be on a need-to-know basis for UFOs? That's short enough, I think.
Should the president? The president.
The president.
Got it. Already.
Or you can put Trump in there. Either way.
Should the president? Well, no, because it should be. You should take into consideration Obama and every
should the president. Period.
Be on a need-to-know basis.
No, about UFOs.
About UFOs.
Well, UFOs, NHI, all the shit that goes along with it. How about that?
The phenomenon?
UFOs
/ NHI. Okay.
Aliens, NHI, UFOs. We could call them UAP if we want to get technical, but we lost that here a while ago.
I just say UFOs and NHI. NHI is the important part. I don't care what you're flying.
Call them aliens.
Okay, just call it aliens in general. I think that's what I would like to hear.
UFO/aliens or aliens.
But
in general,
I mean, aren't the UFOs being run by aliens?
Yeah, of course.
I'd rather see the alien, frankly. It's good to look at, but I want to talk to the alien about, can I get rid of my fat? You know, can my dad get rid of his glaucoma? You guys got a magic wand? Anyway, all right, here it goes. The poll is starting.
Right. All right, folks, by that sound, that means, yes, Disclosure tonight has a poll going. Not only does it delay our display of content, gives us something to talk about. How about that? Let's have some fun and see where audience is going to go. Mel, larger. All right, so where is it at? There's the chat going on. Should the president be on a need-to-know basis about aliens? And if you look at that, holy cow, yes, 65% of our audience, thank you very much, folks, I appreciate that, are saying no, the president should not have to be on a need-to-know basis. I mean, think about this, Daryl. If we have an alien civilization that's out there that's so much more advanced than what we have here as humans, and we're going to go ahead and keep that secret and our interaction with it and our war against it and everything that we're doing to try and figure it out, but the president doesn't need to know about that. Plausible deniability. Yes, we need plausible deniability because they shouldn't be. They should know about it.
More importantly, I didn't vote for those people that are making those decisions. I voted for the person that's in office.
Yeah. But does it sound to you like the person who's in office is really fighting to bring out the truth on this? And I like that.
It sounds like there's definitely a faction in there that's fighting.
Yeah. And if he's actually running into the deep state, he's got to be having a fucking ball with trying to fucking figure him out.
I mean, how many other governance boards and science councils were there ever created at the same time in any point in U.S. history to study this phenomenon and give recommendation on declassification and whistleblowers to come through?
Maybe the same president who enacted the UAP task force,
and also Space Force.
Yeah, shortly after the UAPTF, we got Space Force. Go figure. In other words, what the fuck are we seeing them doing in the sky that we're saying we need Space Force like today? Do you think Space Force? Okay, that is the next poll. All right, we got 2 minutes, we got 100 votes in. There we go. 63%, 73% from the audience. Unbelievable. Yes, you called it out. Should the president be on need-to-know basis? But, Daryl, I want to do one more survey, I think.
All right, go ahead.
Was Space Force created to handle the Chinese, to address the aliens?
I sent a new video in the back chat, Thomas.
Okay. We got you.
Chinese and aliens, that's all we got? Was Space Force created for Chinese
or aliens?
Or aliens?
Yeah.
Foreign advocacy.
Kind of like when we created this Air Force, the reason the Air Force was generated was because of the flying saucer phenomenon that was going on at that time. Are we getting the Space Force because of the UFO phenomenon at this time and what we see them doing in space?
How about earthbound enemies versus aliens?
They could be from space coming in. We don't know.
Well, earthbound enemies or aliens, like Russia, China,
humans,
Iran, human enemies,
humans or aliens. Oh well, EW21, holy cow, $50 monthly dues for wife and I. Keep it rocking. Disclosure tonight, guys. Thank you very much, EW. Wow, thank you very much. Cheers. Not national security, but to a great super chat, Daryl. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay, great. Chink, plank, or plank, whatever you prefer.
Cheers. Yep.
All right, the poll is starting now.
All right.
Cheers.
The wrong spot.
Cheers.
Thomas guess. Cheers, sweaty nerd. All right, so where are we at? All right. Space Force was created for, it's not alien protection, it's alien antagon, protection from the aliens. Or is it from humans? Are we, is that a shot, Sweaty Nerd? That looked like a shot.
Nah. Yeah, no.
There we go.
Yeah, there's some
There's some bourbon for you. You know, human enemies, I guess.
Bourbon.
This could have been, could have been one more answer
no, it's
there.
Fine, we're right. Is it for humans or are we going up against aliens?
Yeah.
Come on, audience. Alien protection. I'll try and spike it. If you haven't voted yet, we got 65 votes in 70. Let's get to 100 and let's fucking bury the freaking human enemies. We got Space Force. Yes, there's some threat from China, but the real threat, what's going on, is from the non-human intelligence. Remember, I've talked many times about those craft that come into orbit around the planet, and then they freaking shoot down to the planet, shoot back up again. That's the real reason why we've got Space Force. Those are the opponents that they're there and truly dealing with. Granted, China's part of it, but the bigger piece was to deal with the aliens coming from space or the moon, Daryl.
Well, I mean, I took this literally. If you go and see why Space Force was created, what its charter was, it doesn't say anything about aliens.
Of course not.
But you know, if there was a
what about the charter for the Air Force? Did it talk about the flying saucer threat?
Right, or the CIA.
Yeah.
But didn't the original Space Force logo have like a UFO in it? Didn't it have a little UFO in the background?
No, that was another part
Maybe
of
it was on
the
their
CIA
website
or something. And I remember when they had that. I've got their original patch that they had created that did include a UFO in it. Yes.
The U.S. Space Force was down,
all right.
Oh, okay. But a different U.S. Aviation Intelligence Office briefly went viral for using an unofficial logo that featured a flying saucer.
Well, show it.
Oh, I can't show it. I don't. I'm just looking for the name of the.
Yeah.
Who it was. The incident on September 22nd. The National Intelligence Manager for Aviation.
Sorry, hold on. Sorry, Thomas, I have to disagree with you on this one. I think that where is it at? I think that at the very least, it's both. But I think it's main is the human versus the enemies. That's fine. Think Lahaina burning. Yeah, that's a theory. And Hollywood Hills burning last year. Well, we know Hollywood Hills. We know where the fire came from. We know why it wasn't put down the proper way and why it took place. It wasn't about lasers coming down from the sky. It was about protections that were put out there for the California Fire Protection District to go ahead and prevent them from going ahead and overwatering a particular area where a fire was at because of some native plants that might be impacted. So the real problem with LA was that particular environmental bullshit that they had to deal with. And then also the DEI individuals who were in charge of the locations they could be storing water and they didn't. You know, it's like the shootings that happened in Seattle last night. You know, they had an active shooter situation going on. Some high school kids are older. And then when they were running around with all the different stuff and everything, the city didn't put out or the state didn't put out any kind of alarm or anything to anybody about this or even address it for 5 hours after that took place. Not only that, 17 hours later, when they finally had their press conference, the police chief at that time admitted that no one's even looked at any of the camera footage because the camera footage they don't have it for the majority part because they turned off the cameras because they felt it was racist, that it was an invasion of privacy, and because we have a socialist communist government, they turned all the cameras off.
I posted that logo thing in the back. I know that we all talked about it before, but I posted the link to it in the back chat.
I got it.
But I remember doing a show on this actually. But it's interesting that it is from the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, who was Ratcliffe at the time,
right?
and this is the National Information or Manager for Aviation or something like that. Scroll down, it'll tell you. National Intelligence. National Intelligence Manager.
A U.S. agency, the National Intelligence Manager for Aviation, NIM-A, recently posted a new eye-catching logo on its website, including UFO on it. There appeared to be a second, slightly different UFO adorning the logo further down the web page and used as a background element. So, yeah. There we go. Yeah, I remember covering this.
Mm-hmm.
And it was immediately taken down and said, oh, it was an intern that shouldn't have been there, blah, 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 excuse. But this is, actually, if you look down on the page a little bit further, they do have a repeat of the, it's hard to hear me. I'll go ahead and do this. Here we go. Further down on the page, they have that same saucer shape repeating.
But it's almost like it's almost like a photo, like a grayed out. That's like a grayscale.
No, it's not a grayscale.
Oh no, in the background image that you just showed,
it's the same thing. It's the same object, just with the filter applied to it.
Okay.
I see where you're kind of coming from, just knowing, but being in graphic arts and understanding that potentially it looks like the same basic object, but maybe they've changed it for the presentation. But you can see the shape is exact. Yeah,
that's crazy. but they know, man. They know, man. Like this is why I'm saying it's like this whole shit is like psyops. It's like they're telling us one thing.
That's what Grush said.
Look over here.
Right.
That's what Grush.
Yeah,
that's what Grush said. It's a psyop against the American people. And that's probably the reason why all this shit's got to be done under the table, because if you put it out in the public, people will die.
Yeah. All right. Yep. So this is an interview from Planet Tyrus. Let me go ahead and hide myself and Daryl and everybody else in the back. Let's get that video full. Here we go. Let's go ahead and play it. This is a great conversation with Greg Gutfeld and Tyrus about, actually, no, not Greg Gutfeld, Tim Burchett and Tyrus about the UFO cover-up, and it's a great conversation.
The shows and the arguments, just the facts, and tell the truth, because if there's nothing there and you show me there's nothing there, I'm good with it. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Congressman Burchett.
It's Tim. It's Tim.
All right, Tim works. Well, Mama raised me with manners first, so. But all right, Tim, I appreciate that. Now, you took office. Office in Congress in January of 2019. Before that, my good buddy Glenn Jacobs. You were his predecessor.
Yeah, he's an excellent county mayor, and I love it when people come from the private sector into politics, because it shows it shows really diversity, but also it shows the fact that you don't have to be brought up through the system, the good old boy network, to come in and do things. He's been great,
and he didn't have to do it.
He's been great for the veterans.
Yep, and trade schools. He's on the front line of all that stuff. He's a man. He's really a great man, and again, he's in a great state. One of my favorite places to perform when I was in the WWE. Always good. The barbecue's different everywhere, but you guys kind of pull it all together. Like there's Texas barbecue, there's Alabama, Louisiana, and then Tennessee just kind of. Georgia.
There's Carolina barbecue.
Yep, there's good stuff everywhere. Now, I've one of the things, and you handle a lot of stuff, and one of the things, you're on the House Foreign Affairs Committee and the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee. You wear a lot of hats. You're the chairman, in fact, of the Oversight Committee.
I'm chairman of DOJ.
Yes.
Of the Oversight Committee.
Yeah. And that, I think, you guys in such a short amount of time have really put the amount of ridiculous spending, and let's just call it what it is, fraud, on the forefront. And I don't want to have a boring podcast to talk about all the ins and outs of dealing with all that stuff. But one of the things that I'm very interested in talking to you about is, and I don't like to use the word UPA. I'm old school UFO. But
UFO.
He doesn't like UAP. Even see, Mike, he even calls it a UPA, not a UFO, not a UAP.
Sure, UPA. We should start calling them that ourselves.
You know what? No. But the truth of it is, that's why we went back to UFOs fucking years ago, because everybody gets it.
Right, because they're used to UFO, not UPA.
Or UAP, exactly.
They also like skateboards.
Oh, okay. Jack of all trades, master of some. All right.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things that I hear, pushbacks I hear about discussing UFOs and is that it's a national security risk. But I feel like fraud is more of a national security risk than understanding that there is probably life out there. Now, I 1,000% believe, and my belief has come as I was a history major for a little while in college, and I just happened to notice in all the different continents that had no text phones and no emails or anything of that matter, a lot of the pyramids and stuff were to the level that we have not yet duplicated at this time. And I think there was enough.
Bingo. Pyramids weren't created 3,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago, maybe like 30,000 or 60,000 years ago is kind of more like it.
Correct.
Of those things out there to say, hey, that's not a tough thing to think that we were visited at some point or combined or whatever you want to deal with it. And, you know, a lot of people push the religious aspect of things, but even to think that God would just make one beautiful place, to me, is silly. You know, and it's a vast universe with all this beautiful bright. And so I don't think the American people, I think the sensationalism of it, the movies, the sci-fi movies and stuff have kind of maybe pushed it that way. But I think the American people can handle it. And I think everyone kind of thinks they're there. I think we're just waiting for more, I think everyone's waiting for the first actual confirmed video, of an alien opposed to, because we've seen it.
There we go. We've talked about this many times. It's not about just all the disclosure dots. We want to see the picture of the fucking alien. I think we talked about this before the show, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
We always do. They need to wheel out a craft. They need to wheel out the bodies. We know it's going to be it's going to be the gray type. Yeah. So yeah, we need to see that finally.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We always do. They need to wheel out a craft. They need to wheel out the bodies. We know it's going to be
okay. Yeah. Hey, Sweaty, you're listening to the audio from YouTube. You're not listening to the audio from the show, so I have to mute you, my friend. Oh,
yeah, that doesn't help us. Yep.
That's okay, but hey, it shows how good our latency is. Sweaty, you're listening to YouTube, not to Google Meet. Listen to Google Meet. Trust me.
Enough UFOs to the point where they're not even shy about it anymore.
Yeah, 100%. You touched on a lot.
Little change. We've gone from always seeing the fucking Go Fast and Gimbal. Now they're actually playing stuff from the latest UFO files release. Even the producers at the Lamestream News are picking up on it.
The national security aspect is what they always wrap it up in.
Right.
They say we can't. And some of that is legitimate. Some of it has to do with our sonar and radar capabilities that maybe we don't want the Chinese, the Russians, or whoever to know that we have. But that's pretty ridiculous since we buy a lot of our components from China for this stuff. They got, I was with a former head of the CIA, and he told me, he said, Tim, they know how many paper clips you use in the Longworth building. And I'm in Longworth building, and I thought, I wonder how he knew I was in the Longworth building. And I thought, well, he's CIA. I guess he knows everything. But the reality is, when I proposed an amendment to the NDA, the National Defense Authorization Act, to disclose all of this, it was a two-page, which is unheard of, very short, to the point. And then Chuck Schumer did one which everybody embraced.
But here's the thing. The sad part is Eric Burleson put the language forward. He modified the language of the UAP Disclosure Act. Eric Burleson had the opportunity to take the additional whistleblower protections and add them to the UAP Disclosure Act that got approved to be part of the NDAA. Didn't he, Mike?
Yes, he did, Thomas.
Well, for me, it sounds like the big fuck you from Burleson and Luna to Tim saying, we're not going to give you that language. We want to stick with the original stuff that was written by Colonel Carl Nell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the slow walk.
Yep. Even within the fucking House of Representatives.
Yeah.
I mean, and Tim's 2-page document, and they had 90 fucking pages of the UAP Disclosure Act, and to say they couldn't get any of the elements that Tim had in his piece included into it.
Yeah, they should have just adopted his because he had the right idea.
Yeah.
60 pages. And that dadgum thing, it mimicked the...
Really quick, I just checked. This is my ADD kicking in for today. All right, folks. If you're having a good time, you're enjoying Disclosure tonight, please do us a favor. Give us an opportunity to go ahead and ask you to go ahead and be a subscriber. We'd love to have you. It just really helps the channel, helps us grow what we do here on Disclosure tonight. More importantly, if you're a subscriber, go ahead and make sure to hit that thumbs up. And if you haven't even yet, hit that bell. Yeah, we'll get a notification, hopefully, that we've got a new show coming out. But we're not going to blast you with a lot of stuff. So I appreciate your time. And I'd say, hey, Mike, what does that also include? Hey, there he is.
Well, the price, as usual, is free. And with that, we give you a double your money back guarantee. So it's a win-win situation for everybody.
Yeah.
So join, hit the like and subscribe button.
Please do, my friends. Yeah, absolutely. All right. So let's get back to that. Good to have you back, Mike. I found some way to wake you up.
There we go. No, I have been sleeping.
I know. I'm just giving you a hard time.
Yeah, it's okay.
The Kennedy assassination files.
So we're just talking about Tim Burchett here, since you were there. You didn't get.
But the reality is, when I proposed an amendment.
So what we came into is there was a 90-page amendment for the UAP Disclosure Act that they got included in the National Defense Authorization Act. Yet Tim Burchett had a 2-page document to improve whistleblower protections, and Burleson basically gave him the double fuck you by not including that in the NDA, right?
Son of a bitch, really?
Yeah.
Why did Burleson do that? The most important legislation would have been Burchett's 2-page memorandum on whistleblower protections that he's been trying to get passed for years now. And why would Burleson not let him do it?
It's been a simple 1 or 2 page that gives the proper protections to whistleblowers. And even Burleson wouldn't adopt it in the 90-page document that was originally written by fucking Colonel Carl Nell.
Why not?
Who had... if you want to call it, more inferior whistleblower protections. On top of that, it was also, going towards a really slow controlled disclosure.
So why did Burchett say that Burleson wouldn't let it in?
He never mentioned. He was just talking about it. That's why I wanted to bring you in on it, because I know this is something we've covered so many times, and it would help the audience understand the pretext of what he's talking about now. Yeah.
And Burleson blocked it.
Well, he didn't adopt it. He submitted 3 different versions of the UAP Disclosure Act, and none of them included the language that Tim had proposed.
Right. 2 fucking pages. And he blocked it. Not including it is the same thing as blocking, as far as I'm concerned. So, there was no reason for that, because if he would have included it, it probably would have been the most important legislation in the entire UAPDA.
Yeah, of course.
That's something that we've been looking for the entire time, but he went out of his way to fucking block it. Cocksucker. There's no explanation for that.
Yeah, let him have it. That's the reality of it, and it just, it sucks.
It sucks. It does suck. And now, he comes across as someone who's an advocate for getting disclosure out to the public. Meanwhile, he's burying Burchett's legislation that would bring probably more information out than we've gotten before. And that means behind the scenes, like all the other members of Congress that you and I have called out over the years, like Anna Paulina Luna and Nancy Mace and all the other cocksuckers in Congress. The real ones
we've had, Anna is kind of a question mark in some different areas. Other than that, she's a cheerleader to get the kind of stuff done. But one of the biggest problems we've had is in the Senate with Kristen Gillibrand, who just idolizes Arrow and pushes them forward, even though they're basically just putting forward the current cover-up, Blue Book 3.0.
So it goes back to the original point that we've been making for a long time, and that is that if the public is depending on disclosure to come from Congress, they're not going to get it. No. They're not going to get it out of Congress.
I mean, if you got Stephen Miller, Mike, who's fighting to get the stuff, and he is like right next to Trump, and he is basically getting shut down. That's the closest you're going to get to the fucking president. You've got someone who's fighting for us right next to the president, with the president supporting us. I mean, this is like the disclosure coup de grace. It's like the ultimate, perfect storm.
Well,
but it's Trump versus a deep state, and who was he always freaking verbalized in his hate for and his wanting to fucking drain the swamp, right?
Yeah, I'm tired of hearing those Republican talking points. I want names. I want agencies. I want to know who specifically is blocking this.
From those who are getting shut down on the DOD, who is it? Who are they? And get fucking Hedgeseth brought on the call and get it taken care of. And if you need to start firing some career bureaucrats, fucking shut them down.
Right. If I had to guess, I could tell you on the top of the list, it's probably going to be CIA, DIA. Yeah. These are the top people who have the Air Force. It's going to be people like that.
Well, CIA, DIA, with Defense Intelligence Agency is part of it. CIA is part of the intelligence community. That's why we've got the ODNI. But God, we've got a bunch of stuff we didn't even get to tonight. Fuck.
But you also said that Hedgeseth, who would oversee the Air Force, would be able to maybe make some headway with them.
Yeah, of course.
And they're the ones that have been blocking this. So we
Bring
need
the colonels
to know.
in one by one. If they don't give them the information, fire them, and take away their retirement and kick them out of the fucking military. If they're part of the cover-up and they're facilitating the cover-up, they don't deserve the stars and stripes and the wings that they have on their fucking shoulders and their chest.
Right. And we already know that the Air Force Research Laboratory that General McCaslin was overseeing, and that Dr. Eric Davis was working at as a UAP investigator in their Special Advanced Program Unit. These are the people who are probably blocking Stephen Miller. But it would be nice if somebody from the government would come forward and name them. We need to know who and where so we could address it accordingly, which we would. So it would be, what did Burchett call it? A fist fight? Brother, you ain't seen nothing. If he put that information out, it really would be a fist fight. Things would get ugly fast. I don't know why they're not putting that information out. But we're going to try to get to the bottom of it and ask around and try to find out who's behind this. And then we'll put it out.
Yeah.
So we're going to find out. This is something that should be talked about, and they're not doing it. And I don't like hearing, it's the deep state. It's the deep state. Deep state my ass at this point.
Yeah.
I want names. I want agencies. I want to know who the fuck is behind this.
Yeah. Oh, Mike, we do have a sponsor tonight. Tonight's show is brought to us by Granny with her XXX Moonshine. Yes, if you go ahead and have horrible times, you need rheumatism medicine, Granny's is the place for you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I agree. That's good for national security.
Oh, you better believe it. All right, so let's get back to Tim, talk about this, and see where it goes. Here we go.
To the NDA, the National Defense Authorization Act, to disclose all of this. It was a two-page, which is unheard of, very short, to the point. And then Chuck Schumer did one, which everybody embraced, and it was over 60 pages. And that dadgum thing, it mimicked the the Kennedy assassination files released. And here we are over.
And he's going to tell us how fucked up it is. Let's hear it, Tim. Hold on. I've got a sound effect for this one.
It's a cover-up.
All right, Tim, go ahead and describe us and tell us what it includes.
60 years, and they still won't release anything. You know, we had a committee meeting a couple of months back, and it disclosed a lot of news information. Nobody even covered it. 60 years is a lot of time. Nobody. Lee Harvey Oswald, you know, that's all they know. 3 incredible shots, whatever. But and then we all know that's not right.
No.
But if you fired a gun before, you know that's not right. But back to the UFO issue, and then Schumer made some plea, and he was in charge of the Senate then, if he's not now.
Mike, have you seen the commercial out there from Coke?
Yeah.
That has Trump flying a UFO?
No.
You haven't seen that one, really?
Nope, I haven't seen it. When did that come out?
Today.
Oh, okay. Well, that's probably why I didn't see it.
Okay, I will risk it. If we get hit with a copyright, my audience, you're worth it. If you haven't seen it, this is a fun one. Let's get to it. All right, so I need to go ahead and go into here, and I need to go ahead and hide myself, go video full, and I need to say chat. Let's turn off. I'll turn you off auto for a second. Here we go. This is almost like he loves Diet Coke, right?
Yeah, of course, obviously.
And he has the button on his office not to launch nuclear missiles, but to make a Diet Coke appear on his desk.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Take that into consideration.
And that was the first time I took mushrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was AI.
Of course it was AI, but
that came off of the White House website?
The whitehouse.com, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
It's the same animation as Family Guy.
Yeah, that's what I thought we were going to hear.
You know, it reminds me of the intro to The Simpsons more than it reminds me of the intro to Family Guy.
That's the same. If you watch Rick and Morty,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The same style as this cartoon is from Rick and Morty.
Yeah,
the music and everything. Yeah.
So NASA then had his hand up before Nick just raised it.
But we had someone else in the back too who has a weird name and they're new. Are they still there? They had their
Nasadim.
Nasadim. Go ahead, Nasadim. Are you somehow related to Susan Goff and potentially Avi Lube?
No. Nasadin has been commenting at least for a few weeks, I think, in the chat.
Okay. Well, he raised his hand, so he or she can now speak if they want.
Yeah, just unmute yourself, Nasadin.
Yep.
Oh no, I need to get to this one.
Oh well. Nick still has his hand up.
We tried. It's true.
Nick, he may be on the Nick delay program.
Yes.
You guys talk about it. I'll be right back in about 30 seconds.
Go ahead, Nick.
I sent a video in the back chat about the exorcist access to the UFO base. Do you want to see that video?
What, Nick? About what?
Like exorcists to a base.
Exorcist.
Where you like where UAPs were at. It was pretty crazy thing that he would actually do that.
So you're saying that they were exorcists or priests that went to a UFO base?
Yes.
Where's the UFO base, Nick?
I don't know. Like, it is a base, actually, and I don't know what base it is.
Did they say in this video that you're referencing?
No. It said the Vatican really sent exorcists to a U.S. Air Force base after an encounter with the phenomenon.
So you're saying that the Vatican sent a priest to a U.S. Air Force base to do an exorcism?
Yeah, basically.
I never heard of that.
Yeah.
Sounds like bullshit to me.
When was that supposedly
allegedly happened? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, actually. Like, it was just from a podcast. It was from a podcast.
Oh, well, if you get more details, like when, that would be.
Or who? Oh, yeah. Anything.
I mean,
God damn
the
it.
Catholic Church does have people in the position of exorcists.
But it comes down to the demonic possessions can vary from manifestation to manifestation. You can't just look at it something, throw it in a box. They all are varied based on the manifestation that's happening and the person and what brought it on.
I sent a video back. Hey, Thomas.
That's from Ghostbusters, I believe. But it's true. It's true.
Have you seen the video, Thomas?
I hear you.
UAP Reporting Center.
Oh, God, no. Not them, please.
Yes.
I
UAP
can't go
Reporting
there.
Center. No, let's ignore that and move on.
I'm sorry. Yeah, not that one.
Oh.
Oh, it's true. It's true. It's true. It's true.
Yeah, we can't go there. Sorry. It's the official policy.
Yeah, it is.
Oh God, Catherine Herridge.
Yes.
Holy cow! Didn't she used to be a reporter for Fox News, and then she did some breakout news on COVID,
Yes.
and then they fired her ass, and she went independent.
Yep.
So,
exactly the story.
So this is an exclusive from her. What was that, Daryl? Go ahead.
Oh no, I said I believe that was exactly what happened. Yeah.
Executive exclusive. A former senior CIA operations official. So this is someone who used to be part of the CIA. Officer James Edmond blows the whistle on shadow government, urges senators to focus on Fauci and the money trail, alleges the CIA effort to block his COVID-19 Senate testimony, et cetera, et cetera. So Herridge is someone who's been around for a long time. She's, but as part of the conversation gets into it, there is directed energy weapons. Real people have been harmed. You know, we may have to go back for that one.
He talks about UFOs and his.
I know, and we're going to get there. I'm just trying to look at if we want to start back and took everything Gabbard had to retract defective Biden era reports. Let's go with Director of Energy Weapons 2926. So we'll start there. We'll talk about Director of Energy Weapons potentially getting into UFOs, and let's see where this conversation goes. Now, taking effect, this is from a former person of the CIA, so let's get along with it. Here we go.
Last fall.
Which agency was pushing back the hardest?
CIA.
Why?
In my personal opinion, I think we have some analysts that need to be fired over at the CIA over the Havana syndrome issue. They actively covered up this issue and in the process harmed a lot of good people. So I think there was a lot to lose.
I've been doing reporting on this for over a year as an independent journalist, and one of the things I hear consistently from U.S. government personnel who are affected by directed energy attacks is that they believe that there is an insider threat. Did your team investigate the possibility that there is an insider threat?
There are insider threats that are an issue in the U.S. government, and we need to take it very, very seriously.
Is that limited to directed energy attacks, or is it broader than that?
Oh, it's broader than that. In fact, the one surprising thing that came out of all the investigations, there is a counterintelligence issue that I think has been left unaddressed in a number of the investigations that we have to take a look at.
Did you lead the investigation into UAPs?
I did. And actually, that's the one I was, I'll say I was happiest with the outcome of that. I wish I could talk in more detail about what the findings were. It's up to the principal deputy director, Aaron Lucas, to make sure that information gets out to the public. But here's what I will say about it. Unless someone shows you firsthand evidence of an alien, unless someone shows you firsthand evidence of an item that is being, whatever it is, reverse engineered, or unless people come forward and say, here's the evidence that this is the crash retrieval program, you should maintain a healthy degree of skepticism.
So he's saying until you show us the proof, federal government, here is the dead alien, here is the dead, here is the craft materials, etc., right?
Right. I think he's leading up to, unless you have the proof, it's not real.
Yeah.
According to their investigation.
Yeah, here we go.
There are real national security incidents that have occurred from...
Hold on. Real national security incidents that have occurred, Daryl?
Check
one. Drink up, everybody.
Check. There we go.
Check. That's security.
There we go. There you go, my friend. Cheers. You already drank it. There you go. Another one then. All right. Best. I'm not used to so many people in national security.
They've been reported by credible people. And I tend to believe fighter pilots and submariners that have a lot on the line to come forward and say things. I tend to believe them. If they're coming forward and saying something, you should believe them. But the problem is, those are national security threats. I think we should define them.
God damn it.
Well, we knew national security was going to be brought up again.
And Sweaty's here too, Sweaty. Say something.
Yeah, here we go.
There we go. Cheers. All right. Double.
Cheers.
God damn it. We got 9 minutes left on this, and I need a refill.
So play it and go get a refill.
But they're going to say national security, and it'll fuck the game up.
Nah, no, it's okay. You can catch up.
Them as national security threats. Treat them as that. Conduct the investigation, but be very cautious about what is being released publicly about UFOs.
Why cautious?
Because there's a whole crap ton of disinformation out there.
Okay, Mike, start talking about the crap ton of disinformation. Great point for us to get into it, because this is going to go for a while. You know, disinformation from who and why, and what's the point behind it?
Mike, I'm kind of curious. I'm curious. Have you ever, I don't know, as part of your job previously, have you ever interrogated a suspect?
Oh my God, yes.
What does it mean?
That was one of the fun parts of the job.
what do you make of this guy? I noticed he looks over. I'm going to guess he's looking over at another camera or something.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, on occasion he just looks over at the other thing like, this is on camera now, and now I'm going to have to answer for this. I don't know. This is some strange body behavior. Just watching him look over to look over the other side, almost like either the camera or a person standing there. I don't know. It was bizarre.
Well, we don't know who else is in the room, Daryl, but you could be right about that. But I know whatever it is that he is putting out here right now, he's thinking very carefully about the words that he's using.
Yeah, and I'd also, I mean, I don't know if anybody else, maybe this is a poll, and I'm not saying what this guy is saying is not on the level, but it seems a bit prepared.
Oh, it is. Yeah. It's definitely a prepared statement. There's no question about that. But he's also being specific that anything that's getting put out, unless you have absolute hard evidence, don't believe it. And he's former CIA.
Yeah, so he's the whistleblower that came out from the CIA. From what I read before the show, and Nick told me at least about this stuff, that he came out with evidence, or he's a whistleblower, that there was a lab responsible for the virus. So.
Oh, okay. The one that Fauci was working on.
Yeah, that's enough.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
It is interesting.
But that's not UFO related.
Right.
It's two separate issues. This is a real world issue we're talking about. And the UFO one, I don't think ties into the lab that he may have mentioned.
Yeah. No, I don't.
Was that lab here in the continental U.S. or overseas?
I have to pull that back up.
Whose lab is it? Is it Fauci's lab or Dr. Fugtuckle's?
I'm pretty sure it's the lab that everybody said it didn't come from, that he said, yes, it did come from there. The Wuhan lab.
Yeah,
well, that's overseas.
Of course
I
it
got
came
it.
from there.
We
Absolutely,
know it did.
100%.
Right.
No, but back then he was a whistleblower, like in 2021.
Yeah.
And told us that what they were denying at the time under the Biden administration was real.
I did remote viewing on there, and there was an accident, but the problem wasn't just the accident in the lab. There was actually a venting system that allowed the fucking pathogen to get out to the area surrounding the lab, in addition to the the dude who was infected in the lab.
Yeah, and they didn't have all the information for the public at the time when this was released.
No.
So, no, it's not airborne. You can wear masks and gloves and be safe. Oh, wait, it is airborne. So,
They
it
always
doesn't.
knew it was airborne, because look at the protection measures they were doing in China at that time. They were having these fog machines coming out. They were talking about people in buildings. They were taking buildings and fucking welding the doors shut so people couldn't leave, because they knew the fucking shit was going through the ventilation system to the people who were getting, affected by it. It was horrible. I watched that whole thing take off from just the initial reports of seeing this little old lady walking down the street and with her bags, like coming home from the market at like 4 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock when it's still dark, and she's carrying it, and she just fucking falls off to the side. And then you get like the ambulance trucks that come up, and they just don't come up to deal with her. They actually put up like these Chinese walls, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? Those little foldable walls you can go and extend out, and you couldn't see what was going on. And it just went from there. And then there were the people in China who were going around into the hospitals, walking around and live streaming the shit. And then also live streaming what's going on at the local crematoriums where the smokestacks are going 24/7. And then we looked what was going on the different visualization systems like Earth.NoSkull.net, and it showed the huge deposits of basically biological material that was being burned in all these crematoriums across China, and it just lit it all up. I watched the whole thing happen, and then I got it. Because where I live in the town where I live in Washington, it was Mill Creek was the first reported case of COVID, and I got mine at fucking probably the Costco warehouse in Everett, Washington. Not their fault. It was what was going around. But then I got it, and I had it. It wasn't that bad, but then my immune system fucking kicked up, and I fought it with long COVID for like a year and a half, 2 years. I was on high doses of prednisone. They tried methotrexate and other freaking chemo meds to try and shut it down. But it was just something that, you went through. And of course, then you get it again down the road because it is what it is.
So he's a whistleblower on that, but it doesn't tie into anything with UFOs.
No, he's just about to talk about it. We haven't gotten there yet.
All right, let's get there.
UFOs. Why them as national security threats? Treat them as that. Conduct the investigation, but be very cautious about what is being released publicly about UFOs.
Why cautious?
Because there's a whole
make a
ton
noise.
of disinformation out there and lies, and there's grift. We have to be very, very careful.
Do you believe that there are more UAP records that have yet to be released?
Of course. Given, and I'll say, in CIA's defense on this issue, we really didn't ask for a ton from them. There's a couple things we would have liked to have gotten from them, but I can't say that the resistance on that issue really was huge from CIA on that issue. But certainly, given the scope of our investigation, yes, for sure, there's more work that can be done. What I appreciate about what we were tasked to do, we quickly discovered that given the personnel that we had, given the resources, and given what we discovered just as we started the investigation, we had a counterintelligence issue that needed to be clearly defined so that anybody who picks up the baton going forward can focus on the real national security threats that have to be investigated.
Did you come away from the
Clinky, everybody.
Clinky, nice and drinky. Sweaty, you there?
Yep, right here.
You want to play? There you go, my friend. Just
there you go, my friend.
Pace yourself. Drink water.
The UAP investigation, believing that there are communities, civilizations, life forms outside the Earth.
No, not from the investigation. Personally, I want to believe that. I would like to believe that, but no, from the investigation, I did not come away believing.
But that goes against what fucking Tulsi Gabbard said. So, who do you believe?
Well, according to him, he didn't find anything in the investigation.
That he was also with the CIA.
Yeah, but his investigation didn't turn up any evidence of any UFOs.
Believe that. I would like to believe that, but no, from the investigation, I did not come away believing that there are UFOs.
So what are you doing now?
I think a lot of people who leave government service and want to jump into something else, they have the same.
All right, so
the same problem.
There's coming from Catherine Herridge. Now, wasn't there another interview that you would share, Daryl, that was like kind of groundbreaking?
That would be the James O'Keefe undercover tape of the 16-year veteran in the Pentagon who says he slow walks stuff, and so do his cronies, to make sure that presidential decrees and guidance are not enacted. And other things.
Well, this is that's James O'Keefe.
Oh.
God, I know you sent me an interview, a link to that. Give me a second, I'll find it.
I can load my messages up and
I got it right here. So which part do we want to hear?
Probably just the first part, because it's a quick, the very beginning is a summary.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, is
I want
a
to
summary.
stay and stick it out, so that way when the time comes, I can undo whatever's been done. But I can be influenced.
A Pentagon director of business operations admits to me, while disguised with nothing but a mustache, that he is sticking around to, quote, undo Trump administration policies after Trump leaves office.
I mean, there's a lot of things that they tried to do at the very beginning. They've still not rolled out. Because you have certain folks in certain positions who can slow roll things. There's a lot of times where it challenges my morals.
What are some things that you'd undo?
I would not have prayer service. No prayer service. I don't think there should be one specific prayer service. I was converted to schedule policy. Hopefully that's the first thing that gets undone, because I don't like it because I'm negatively impacted by it.
He seemed like a very professional guy for most of the meeting, but eventually did speak about what his true beliefs are about the war in Iran, about the president himself, calling him a narcissist.
I think Trump is a textbook narcissist.
Wow.
And once you understand one, you understand them all.
The war in Iran is driven by, quote, one man's ego. You probably can't even tell me what your position or your opinion is on that, the war in Iran.
So is he on the gay date or something like that, Daryl?
Yes, that's how the undercover-ness of this started. Much like me, I don't have a mustache, but essentially that's all he did was they catfished this guy.
Catfish him on Grindr.
and got him to show up at this deal, man, and he's totally into James O'Keefe.
Wow. No wonder why they talk about the pizza places that go off and different things that go off and different activity on Grindr that happens around the whole White House and the Department of War. When things are going on, they see an increase in different areas. I guess they want to go ahead and get the action before the action happens.
I don't know, man. You're talking to somebody that's never been on Grindr, Match.com, Christian Mingle, The Farmer's Daughter. I haven't been on any of it.
The Farmer's Daughter? I've never heard of that one either.
Okay, I've been on that one.
Yeah, it's real.
No, I'm just kidding. I haven't.
Yeah. But I will not deny that myself and my ex was a image that was taken by Grindr and shown all across the United States. Oh, God, we're probably talking, 2010 or so, and they actually took our picture and showed that for everybody's image across the entire United States for a period of time.
Without your approval.
Well, yeah, it was a bug. It was a feature. No, it was a bug.
It's driven based off of one man's ego.
And makes the claim the Department of Government Efficiency DOGE was clearing out data contracts so they could be awarded to Palantir instead.
Most of the contracts they terminated were data related, and then they awarded Palantir a major data contract. But they're friends with some of the senior folks that were contributors.
Oh yeah.
I've seen some things.
At one point during the meeting, he actually said, "You could be a reporter." Well, I guess he was right.
In true DC nature, you don't always reveal everything that you see.
You don't want to say too much.
I mean, you could be a news reporter.
Yeah.
The whole thing is the whole interview, the whole undercover interview, but you get the gist of it there if anybody wants to watch it. He does talk about the slow rolling of people, and James O'Keefe of Administration Policies in Maine, and James O'Keefe does at the end say, if this guy is basically one of 10,000 people, if anybody needs to be fired, there's like 10,000 other people like him that need to be fired, because this is what they do. And that's what I'm saying, man, that I wish somebody had the balls and the money to go expose the career people, and maybe you'd find some good stories, but I'm guaranteeing you're going to find some really bad ones.
Yep. Well, it's never all good, is it?
No,
you have to separate the wheat from the chaff.
I mean, just get this guy into a waterboard him and tell me 5 other people that are doing this shit, and then do that to them and that to them and that to them. I'm sorry, but let's get rid of the deep state.
Well, this is a different deep state that people are going to go for, but this is a headline that anyone would die for. Vatican exorcists deployed to U.S. Air Force Base after military personnel possessed by the phenomenon. Yes, you can get an attachment. No, it's not a demonic possession, but, well, apparently they may be seeing it that way. Religious demonologist Nathan Gillis just detailed some of the most disclosure conversations still refuse to touch in this interview. Well, let's just see where it goes. I think the beards say everything, Daryl.
Yes. Well, I don't know if they say everything, but
they infer.
Going back to the Collins Elite, I mean, the document that I'm in possession of, it talks about how that these governmental
Remember, there's a lot of fake documents out on the internet all the time to say, so the document I'm in possession of says this. Daryl, what does that mean?
Bullshit? Like they're bullshit artists?
Oh, a bullshit artist.
I know we can get in trouble for saying that, but we have to be honest.
Practitioners, just make up a term there, were contacting the phenomenon to the point where they were becoming possessed by it. And the Vatican was sending exorcists to Air Force bases. Right?
Proof, please. Please show us the proof.
Oh my God! I can only imagine.
The other day that what they said exorcisms are up like 400% or something like that.
Yeah, man, and I just can't imagine that, right? Like you check into work, and it's like, man. All right, let's look at the rate.
Wow, man, the Catholics are sending out fucking exorcists to deal with aliens. Let's take another fucking hit. Where's the volcano? Is it erupting yet?
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I know.
Or this other guy's like,
yeah, but if you don't have green crack, you don't know where it's at.
You know what I mean? Like, oh God, what's going on, Reggie? What happened to you? And they're doing the whole thing. I'd be out. But yeah, they had to have dozens of exorcisms because. So we don't know what that is. Some people say we're initiated. Well, that was not fun. So I don't know.
I mean, mine was easy. I had some stuff that I did, and I got an attachment. I went to someone who was like really good at what she does, and she's like, "This is the first time I've ever been told, no, you're not allowed to go ahead and detach me from him. Go away." And it freaked her out. That's a good thing.
What's going on there? But I think that we're evolving to a place we're figuring out some things to push the beast back in the dark.
God, I need to take a screenshot of this and take it to one of my employees and say, one of my coworkers, and say, "Is this you?" Really have to do that. Very similar. Are you from Texas? All right. Where else are we at? Oh my God!
What were they talking about? What were they talking about? They're talking about the UFO, the exorcist at the
They're
the airport.
talking about saying that they're bringing exorcists in to deal with people who've been dealing with a non-human intelligence, and they've been possessed. I know it's funny, but we got to talk about it. It's going on. It's that whole religious.
Is this guy some credible podcaster, fringe guy?
These governmental practitioners, just make up a term there.
No. But he's in my list. Oh my God, from Joe Murgia. Joe, the UFO Joe, what is he doing? He's got Dr. Pillow. I'm not mad, disappointed in your life's choices. Oh, hon. I need to take this. God damn it. Why can't I see one little spot on my desktop? Let me go ahead and bring it in. Now I can bring it up and zoom into it and show it. What are we talking about? We're talking not just about Dr. Phil. No, we're not talking about Granny and her rheumatism medicine because, trust me, thank God it fucking worked tonight. All right, let's get into it. Dr. Philo. Oh, God. Joe Murgia, thank you for AI. All right, so we're looking at Dr. Philo. I'm not mad, just disappointed in your life's choices. You need a reality check. Dr. Philo, ushering in the UFO apocalypse. The UFO apocalypse is here, and he's got pictures off to the side saying, "Don't deny the truth. Dr. Philo knows the best. Accept the truth, or get stepped on. But first, let's talk about it." Those are his keywords. So, they're going after him, and you know what? Good for him. It shows it's working. He's making the impact.
Yeah. As far as how many people follow Joe Murgia in the normie world?
Well, I actually do pay UFO Joe $5 a month.
Well, what I'm saying is, as the normies, which are like 95% of the country,
that's who it is. They're getting Dr. Philo. Good.
Yay! Go Dr. Philo.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Oh, What else do we have out there in Twitter land right now? All right. They're taking the guy. Yeah. Oh, God.
Oh
God, there is the mayor of Seattle again. Remember, folks, they had a mass shooting incident, and it took her office in cooperation with the police department and the Pramila Jayapal from the House of Representatives and the mayor, not the mayor, and the governor of Washington, 5 hours to come out and tell people there's a mass shooter, stay inside.
I didn't think it was possible, but it seems like you found a new erection killer, Thomas.
Yeah. The thing that comes to mind here is Trump calling Schiff watermelon head, and I think somebody else has taken over that moniker.
Yeah, I missed that. Hold on, I accidentally clicked on the thing. Where the fuck was I dealing with that? Oh, God. Erection killer. There we go. Mayor of Seattle. I mean, here's the thing. They had a press conference earlier in the night, and when the conversations got too tough, the governor of Washington had spoken yet. Neither had Pramila Jayapal from the House of Representatives. That waited 5 hours to get stuff together, and her staff ended the conversation because of it.
That sounds criminal to me.
Oh, yeah.
There was no direction from Governor Ferguson's office or Pramila Jayapal's office to wait to do the press conference until they got to
as soon as we coordinated with SPD and agreed that it was time to talk to the media, as soon as we knew that we were going to be doing that, I and Governor Ferguson and Congresswoman Jayapal arrived on the scene within minutes. So your kids say his
Within minutes? No, it was 5 hours before he told anything, and they were trying to find the people in the IMAX theater, but they didn't want to put the post out there because they were looking for them and thinking they were hiding in that area. So rather than going ahead and warning all the people in that area where the fucking mass shooting was going on, did they do anything?
Yeah, no, they showed up on scene.
Yeah.
Which does what?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Why aren't you in a...
But then again, we have our the police chief, who's from the Midwest. His residence is in Park Village, Illinois. I believe it's somewhere like that. And he flies back on the weekend. So when this took place, he wasn't here.
I have been here working as hard as I can for this city from the day I got here. You got that?
But there are reports that you are not in town often.
Their reports are wrong. Do you understand? Let's go, man. Let's go. You understand?
So when
let's go.
So when they start asking the tough questions, they take the people.
Reports are wrong. Do you understand? Let's go, man. Let's go. You understand?
So when
let's go.
And push them in the back and hide them from everybody.
Shortly after 6 p.m. last night, officers responded to the sound of gunfire. They were assigned to support Bite of Seattle and were on scene within seconds and took one suspect in. Shortly after 6 medical examiner's office. The Seattle Police Department detained a 15-year-old juvenile in connection with the shooting. The teen was booked into the.
Sorry.
Shortly after, at Seattle Center, we had an active investigation ongoing, including continued search for a possible second suspect. And SPD conducted a briefing with elected officials online at 9 p.m., including many people still at risk of future murders to take guns.
Start where they start asking her questions, but then she leaves when they start asking questions, of course. So, yeah, it's just sad to see another mass shooting going on in the United States. But the problem we've got going on, Daryl, is that Seattle has turned off all the surveillance cameras that are around the city because it potentially is racist and if you want to call it, goes against the privacy concerns of the average citizen that's around. But if you have this going on, why would you want to keep everything and not have access to it? And after 17 hours after the incident happened, they still hadn't looked at any potential footage that would have been recorded just by the Seattle Center where it happened, outside of even the city's control.
It sounds like a political versus logical maneuver.
Who is this, Thomas? Who is this? Is this the guy?
So this is this shooting. I guess it's the suspect of him. They've got him and they're following him.
Yeah, he's 15 years old and he was shooting at somebody else that they didn't get. They were having a dispute and 3 people got killed.
Does he have legs that are 2 feet long?
No, he just has pants that are falling down because he's a bottom.
Yeah, he's a 15-year-old kid.
Well, here's the thing, Daryl. If you've got a pair of tits, you lower your stuff lower to go ahead and attract people, right? If you're a bottom, you want to go ahead and attract people, you lower your pants down to get people excited, right? Why else would they do it?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, you know, that started in prisons. So it's like that was a thing where, yeah. So if you walk around with your pants down like that, you know.
Yeah.
Was it pants on the ground? Pants on the ground.
Yeah. That's crazy, bro. But he's in the game.
Yeah.
So, you know. That's stupid for them to say, turn off all the cameras. Like, that's dumb. Like, why would you do that?
Well, because right now there is a tidal wave of bipartisanship on flock cameras. And flock cameras, the company, is being painted as America's #1 spy agency now. And so a lot of people are, up in arms about flock cameras, which
But these aren't flock cameras. These are the different cameras that are in place, like from the NYPD or the city of Chicago, Chicago Police Department. Any of them. It's a camera network they have set up. They also have different sensors to go ahead and pick up when there's gunshots in areas, and they can pinpoint where the gunshots are coming from. And it's these types of systems that they're fighting back against, saying improperly identifies where the crime is coming from, and it's racist because it's targeting people of color and other things, and we can't have that kind of stuff going on. So we've developed different technologies to figure out where it's happening, where they can deploy people to, but it's people like this socialist communist mayor who are literally turning it off.
Yeah, it's dumb. For them to even use that as an excuse to, that's dumb. I don't care, because it's it's called a shot spotter. So we have them down here. So it's anytime when the shot is, shotting off, it pinpoints where that shot is coming from.
It triangulates.
9 times out of 10. Yeah, so 9 times out of 10, if you're around a
those are
urban
the systems
area
that they've turned off, I believe, in Chicago and also in Seattle, even.
Yeah, but you're going to hear it more often in the urban area. So why would you turn it off?
It's racist because it's in predominantly, specifically, particular races, neighborhoods. That's why it's racist.
I want to go ahead and say about the flock camera. There were 2 flock cameras that it looked like our city was trying out at 2 different locations, and all the flock cameras have disappeared from my community. So it looks like, at least where I live, the flock cameras aren't going to be deployed.
But what's the difference?
Doesn't mean you have license plate readers all over the place going ahead and tracking. Not only do they go ahead and track your license plate, they also track all the Bluetooth devices from your car, from your phone, and everything else. And they use those to tie into other locations as you're driving along and to build a digital footprint of you that goes just beyond the car. It goes down to the fingerprint of all the digital devices you have along with you as you're doing something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that would seem to be like an infringement. However, I mean, you can buy marketing data that tells you where your cell phone has been.
This is a game.
How do you think they figured out what happened in Wuhan, Daryl?
Yeah.
They watched all the advertising data that was coming from the advertisers, and they looked at Wuhan, and it went from all these people that were being there, and all of a sudden the next day there was nobody there, and they could see there were these blocks that were in place that people were trying to go through in that area, and they were shut out of it. So yes, advertising networks are a great way to get metadata even beyond flock.
Yeah, absolutely.
It just comes down to the apps you're running on your devices.
But people are simulating everybody's camera CCTV system to flock cameras right now. That's my point.
Well, it's that, but it's also Bluetooth and everything else, and that's where Android you can't you can't turn the shit off on Android, and they fucking track you everywhere.
What I'm saying is, any CCTV camera is now a flock camera. That's the way it's looked at.
Well, in China, China has really advanced. If you want to call it the CCP version of a camera that we have in the United States, is called flock.
They haven't charged this person as an adult yet, Thomas. They haven't charged this person as an adult yet.
What do you mean?
15, right?
Yeah, 15.
Who?
The guy.
Yeah, the guy.
Oh, the person who did the shooting, you mean?
Yeah.
Welcome to fucking Seattle. Yeah, welcome to Washington State.
I mean,
yeah. Let's just watch this. Here we go. We got 9 minutes.
Is there a second shooter on the loose?
I know we've lost a bunch of people. We're talking about a Seattle thing, but this is more of a nation thing, and it just shows you what happens when something fucked up really goes on, where our country would be headed if this is what our leadership is taking us towards.
Second shooter, we're trying to identify who that person is. Our officers need your help. If someone saw something or Perhaps if someone has some video, we need to identify that person.
Because I wasn't here when it happened.
Gunfire. We have one person in custody that our officers took into custody. We need to figure out that other person.
But Chief, you know that people are angry that this was 5 hours that your department waited to tell people that there is a shooter on the loose. Why wait 5 hours to tell people? And then here we are 17 hours later and you still...
Why wait fucking 5 hours, right? To tell people there's a fucking shooter out there.
Don't have that person.
Yeah, again, you're right. We do not have that person in custody, but we wanted to get it right. Again, we were searching the IMAX theater. It was possible that that person could have ran in there. That person would have been taken in.
So we know what's in the IMAX theater, and we're not going to warn anybody. Stay the fuck around from there. There was a mass shooting going on. What do? Fucking leave it to social media.
In custody, that would have been our second shooter, but we're still looking for it. We understand that people are angry. You should be. Everyone should be angry. But with that anger, you should also be asking yourself, what can I do to prevent this? We have to start partnering together. We have to start working together on this issue of gun violence and getting information out and providing opportunities for people so that things like this do not happen. If I had, really a crystal ball, it would be that we could work with our young people, work with our groups, and make sure.
I mean, wonderful. We're talking about therapies and stuff we can get there rather than talking about the assailant, what they did, the perpetrator of it. They're trying to soften the individual, aren't they, Daryl?
He's not going to talk about it. He's totally on the defense. He's on the defense with reporters. He's on the defense. He wasn't there when it happened. And now let's come to light.
I mean, even look at fucking Pramila, good old fucking pan face.
Yeah. No, he's a goner. That's the look. It's like dead man walking in her eyes.
I mean, the governor has his eyes down, looking down. She's looking over to him, saying, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Right?
I get. If anybody wants to put any money on this, I'd be willing to wager this guy is gone within a month because he wasn't there.
Again. Because the last time things happened, he was someplace else. He's either traveling internationally or he's back where he lives. His home state is in Illinois.
He gone.
Understand that this is not the way to go. This incident affected a lot of people. Internally, people who visited our amazing city. We're just coming off a very successful event with the FIFA where we had no incidents, and to have something like this this weekend is solely definitely unacceptable.
But Chief, the mayor's office put out misinformation, and that is serious. As people are trying to put the pieces together, is it safe for me to go outside? Is there a second shooter? Do you take that seriously? And this question would go directly to the mayor. What can be done to assure that never happens again? Because two is a big difference from one.
Right, let me say this. Yes, we take our job very seriously. And so we want to get out information as early and as often as possible. It is unfortunate that sometimes, in any situation, early information is sometimes incorrect. But what do you do when that happens? You correct that information and then you move forward.
So it shows, what he's talking about, Daryl? He is promoting the paralyzation of the government. It's, what it reminds me of? Remember when we saw the mayor of... the mayor of Los Angeles, right? And she was coming forward and they were asking her questions about the different stuff. She was off somewhere in Africa and she was asking people were asking questions about what's going on, and she's just looking around and just ignoring what was really going on in her aura. But it's similar.
Dude, he's on the defense. You just look at him. He's on the defense.
Yeah.
And he's not going to be, it's not defensible.
Copy video. Give me a second. I want to go ahead and do this. All right. Go to here, download. Come on. Get there. We're at 2 minutes and 24 seconds. All right. I want to have better control over this. Here we go. Because I want to zoom in on these people as they're talking, and I can't do that from their usual browser window. Here we go. And I don't have to play the fair use because this is just literally new stuff that's out there. All right, here we go. 227.
We'll try to ensure that the information is correct. But we
Jesus
have
Christ.
to get something.
Give me a second here. God damn it. Don't cancel. I want to go to 2 minutes and 27 to 21.
We do after action reviews, which we will do on this case, and we'll try to ensure that the information is correct. But we have to get something out to our community when we can.
Chief, can you be clear on last night? I think that you said.
Were you in town yesterday? I was not in town yesterday. I wish that I had a crystal ball and we could schedule gun violence, but we can't.
So he admits he was not in town yesterday. Oh, look at the expression on Pramila Jayapal's face.
Dude, everybody in that room knows he's dead man walking. You can look at everybody's eyes right now.
Even Rumpelstiltskin shows her face. That's what Luke calls her anyway.
Yesterday I was in Dallas at the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives Conference. It's their 50th anniversary. At that conference, 2 members from our community were being honored. One of our pastors was given an award for his work in the community, and one of our officers, one of our CSOs, was given an award, and I wanted to be there for that. That's why I was not here.
Do you have any video of this incident from the Seattle Center?
There we go.
You reviewed it yet? We have cameras there.
I do not know if we have video of it. I have not had a briefing on that just yet.
17 hours after the incident. Isn't it wonderful to look at Seattle and see how great their leadership is and such a wonderful representation of Washington State?
Yeah, that's fucked up. I mean, I was buying the excuse for a second.
I wonder if the police chief has, along with his credentials, the 3-letter credentials of DEI.
I don't know.
She's curious about the cameras. We were told yesterday that there were no security cameras in the area where the shooting occurred. Why would that be the case, especially with such a major public event?
I'm not sure where the camera placement are. Those video unit, they're probably at home asleep now. They'll give me another second briefing this afternoon, and we'll be able to answer that question.
Chief, I want to know.
Yeah. She shut them down before. I thought she did a mayoral proclamation saying she wanted to shut the cameras down because they were racist, and if you want to call it, was invasion of people's privacy. Again, look at the wonderful face by our representative Pramila Jayapal. She is just so taken aback. Why is she taken aback? Oh yeah, God damn it. By the words.
Can I interrupt you, Rick? I just want to get caught up. What is this about, Thomas?
It's nothing about UFOs, Sirif.
Is this live? Are we live?
No, we're covering shit that happened in Seattle.
Chief, we're going to do that. Our officers are going to work carefully.
Right. So we have been reporting up to the minute.
So this is what happens, actually, Sarah, when you will elect a socialist to be the mayor of a major city in the United States of America, who's never held a job, has been supported by her mom up until the point she became mayor of Seattle.
there.
And she's a socialist / communist agenda individual who was very unqualified for what she's trying to get done, but somehow she got brought into it. And then we're dealing with an administration that's crippled when different events happen that are catastrophic, and you need leadership in the local city to come forward and tell people what to do and how to handle it, but they're so crippled in their process and in their lack of understanding of the basics of life that they can't get out there and just say, hey folks, get the fuck out of there. If you're at this place, we know something's going wrong. There's a shooter at this point. Vacate the area immediately. You know what I mean? It just basic sense. Wouldn't it be, Sarah, from your perspective, if you held that position and something like that happened, what would the first thing you would have wanted to do? Tell the people that are around there, get the fuck away from there, watch out for this, and just be careful and keep on giving them updates. But 5 hours to give that, and 17 hours, they still haven't reviewed the fucking videos. That's what socialism gets you, folks. And you can look at the situation and say, well, she got elected and everything. Yeah, and all the if you want to call it mail-in votes that all came in really late. Yeah, she won that way. But
when was she elected?
Oh, 8 months ago.
Oh, so enough
recently.
Time. 8 months ago is enough time to clear out or make any policy changes that are needed, I think.
Oh, it's gotten worse. It's gotten worse. Yeah, all right. So let's get back to this flying piece of bullshit.
We were hearing with the swirl that happened last night, there would have been a lot of inaccuracies out there that would have confused people and that we then would have had to correct. So it's going to confuse people to go ahead and say something. Get the fuck out of here. There's something going on. There's an active shooter at the fucking Bite of Seattle. Stay away from it. We're on top of it. But that would cause confusion for someone who's, well... managing this tension, and we are doing the best that we can to provide accurate information in a timely manner without increasing confusion.
So she doesn't want to have confusion. Fuck safety. Isn't there a saying, Daryl, safety first? With everything? Including when you get into a plane, you have to say
I
safety
knew you were going to go there.
There you go. Safety first, right? That's what it's about.
Of course. It's been one day since there's been an accident.
So are you still with us?
No. Brian Pebble's in the chat.
No, really?
The Seattle police chief lives in Chicago. There you go.
No shit. Come on back, Brian. We love you. Please come back.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah,
my bad.
we had the Nick delay there
in Chicago.
Hey,
shit, come back, Brian. We love you. Please come back.
Oh my God, he's still not.
Oh, Nick's got his hand up.
Seattle has basically failed, Thomas. It's sad to see, but Seattle's failed. It's sad what happened in Seattle.
Now we changed the Seattle channel. How many people are watching? Oh, 308. So
308. It's going well. We're up or down a little
bit.
Did
you see that? Dave Fugel guy basically said that Under Skinwalker went.
No, hold on a second. We need to talk about when fucking pigs fly.
And Brian Pimble had just raised his hand.
And he did. Did we get to see when pigs fly? I hope so.
Only if you attended a Pink Floyd concert.
No, he has one in his house, like from an
Nick.
No, not Nick. Brian.
Oh, Brian has a. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, this is a.
There it is.
That's a 1950s carousel pig right there.
Cool.
And I've been on the show when pigs fly.
Yes.
That's that, and when it comes on The View, which we've already had disclosure on The View, but I just wanted to bring up that comment that the Seattle police chief lives in Chicago, and so the fact that they didn't have that little lesser until later is probably so he could fly in, which I find absolutely breathtaking. That you wouldn't hire somebody, that's living in Seattle.
Yeah. Oh, I know it's such a mess, but Brian, I love you, my friend. You're like my brother from another mother in the UFO community and the whole thing. It's just that if anything ever happens, don't talk to anybody else. Just reach out to me, and I'm cool with shit, honestly.
Oh yeah, no,
yeah.
I don't.
It's wonderful to have you back again. We missed you.
I don't take things hard. I love you guys. I called Mike and everything, but
no. You should call me. I'll answer.
Okay. Well, yeah, we've been here for years. All of us have at one point argued with each other, but yeah, it's like water off my back.
We all have the same target in view, right? Irrespective of the method of how we can think we can get there, we all have a common view of the disclosure, no matter where it's at.
That's right, and I think that we are all on the same page, and you're 100% right. That you may not like some of the people I talk to, et cetera, et cetera. That's fine. Yeah. And
you may not like some of the people that I talk to. And by the way, Lou's going to stop by.
Good.
Next Friday.
And I don't know if you saw it too, but John Alexander was on a podcast recently.
Was that recent? Because I saw that, and anything I've ever seen with John, it always goes in the past. But John is a encyclopedia of information. He was the first guy that I kind of dealt with in the UAP and consciousness shit. That
I think it might have been American Alchemy. Perhaps somebody could correct me. But it was good. I didn't think that 3 hours was enough for him. So you are right.
I can listen to him. I mean, you know, remember John Hughes or whatever his name was from 60 Minutes? He was the guy who would get in there and talk about this stuff. You get in there and talk with John, and you're on one-on-one with him, and he's talking about different things. It sounds like you're listening to, a veteran journalist who's been through different things and being able to talk through it and build the image of what you're going through and convey everything it's going to. The guy's a fucking genius, and he's had experience to a lot of different things in ufology and consciousness that a lot of people want to say, well, he's a little bit out there, but isn't what we deal with in disclosure ufology, isn't it all a little bit?
I like that John Stewart, Daryl.
No, Mike Wallace. He said 60 Minutes. Were you talking about Mike Wallace?
No. Hugh Downs.
Oh, Hugh Downs. That's that was
Hugh Downs.
2020.
2020, yes. He reminded me of Hugh Downs. The way he conveyed, the way he talked about stuff, talked the different things he had in his living room around him as we talked about these different things.
Oh yeah, talking about the Colonel.
Colonel A, yeah. I mean, that's what Barry called him. Rest his fucking soul. Barry Friedman was my agent who taught me a lot of things on contract negotiation, how to deal with stuff, more importantly, how to delegate and everything else that kind of makes up who I am. His son went and stole all of his medication because his son thought he could get high on it. And he was like, if I don't have my medication, I'm going to die. And then 2 days later, I never heard from him.
That is one way to commit suicide. If you're an alcoholic, stop drinking. Or if you're addicted to something, stop doing it immediately.
It wasn't him, it was his kid. But either way, it's, we have different people that inspire us along the way to get where we're at. And he was, if you want to ever deal with a good, shrewd Jewish gentleman who teaches you the way of the Ferengi, that was Barry. Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Did anyone see that Brandon Fugel interview with Jesse Michaels?
I'm 2/3 of the way through it, of the 3-hour interview, or 3 hours.
Brandon actually says that he believes there's an alien spaceship under Skinwalker Ranch. And that's why
I thought it's above Skinwalker Ranch, and there's this bubble going up there that they don't understand, right?
No.
It's under Skinwalker Ranch, and the only person that could, if they would get the alien spaceship, would be the Pentagon, but the Pentagon doesn't want to do it because if the Pentagon got an alien spaceship, then they'd be asking why are we using the military at Skinwalker Ranch, and they don't want to answer that question, Thomas. Why are we using the military at Skinwalker Ranch?
I don't know why I'm actually still going at 8:50 p.m. because I have to get up at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. Holy shit. We just go ahead and take a look at this and say, there's a lot of different ways we can get there. However,
Super chats.
Good night, Thomas.
Super chats tonight. Let's see if we got any out there. I think we got one, at least. We got one from Shogun. Thank you very much. I appreciate that super chat, my friend. We're a fan-funded program, and welcome to Disclosure tonight. Also, E-Dub, monthly dues from the wife. Thank you much. Very, very much, you too. I guess to get E-Dubs is E-Dubs, and you never know on that. I want to thank everybody for coming out. Daryl, thanks for being around.
Thanks for having me. I just want to thank, it seems like there's a core group of 300 people that will stick around for everything and anything.
There's always 300 people that will stick around, Daryl.
Oh, God, yeah. I want to thank my neck. I want to thank the left side that's coming up around here as I turn my neck and close my eyes a little bit and says, yes, I'll be fucking dealing with you tonight and tomorrow for no additional charge. Hopefully, if something happens tomorrow, we'll have a show. But if it's quiet, we'll put the summer. It's saying, hey, you know what? It's middle of July, end of July, it's summer vacation, and we'll be back soon.
Look up, everybody.
Yeah, fucking like and subscribe. What else can we say? All right. On that note, at the end of every episode of Disclosure tonight, where the fuck am I? No. Where is the sound effects? Yeah, there we go. Eyes open, no fear, be safe, everybody. Right, Mike?
Oh, yes, sir. Go back to Party City.
Well, I know it's here somewhere if I could fucking find it. Oh, you know what?
Go back to Party City.
Absolutely. Good night, everybody. See you soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.